Hey guys, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to a Flesh and Blood stream. Tonight we're going to be playing more Azalea. We're kind of taking a deeper dive into Azalea. I played Azalea on Tuesday and I went 3-4, I believe, or 4-3, I can't remember. I feel like I picked up a lot about the deck, and I had a couple of people comment on, like some plays that I made, and like I feel like it's really like helped me like kind of like push like towards like a better idea of Azalea and what we're trying to do. So I'm hoping to take that and improve on it tonight. Although admittedly, I'm going to be honest, tonight is still going to be a very, very big learning opportunity for me. Excuse me. I've not played a lot of Azalea, so I'm still looking forward to learning more about her and kind of like learning some more about her play patterns tonight. I also think that Fi can be like a tough matchup, and having to block more than you want to can be really hard. Oh God. I guess I waited till I had to start talking to have to burp. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, I'm excited to play more Azalea games tonight. Wanted to let everybody know a couple things. One, I wanted to mention the Discord. I created a Discord about a week or two ago for everybody just to kind of hang out in, talk about decks, like share memes, pictures of your pets, things like that. So if you're interested in, hanging out and talking to everybody when I'm not streaming and like, being a better part of the community, then, please come hit exclamation point Discord in any of the chats, whether you're on Kick, YouTube, or Twitch, and you can get the link to join that. I set the link to where it never expires now. Carly was nice enough to hook us up with that. So now we got a never expiring link. And also, on Sunday, going into the new year, I'm going to be doing a Flesh and Blood stream to kind of bring in the new year. I'm going to be starting around 7 Eastern time on Sunday. Excuse me, good Lord. And we're going to be streaming, into Monday morning, a little bit like bringing in the new year and like just kind of hanging out with everybody. There's going to be a little bit of a twist involved though. For the first time ever, there's going to be alcohol involved in my stream. I'm not much of a drinker for the most part, but I thought it'd be fun to, I've had a couple people ask about like alcohol and drinks and stuff like that. So I thought it'd be fun to incorporate some alcohol into the stream a little bit. So we're going to be having some for every time somebody becomes a member or subscribes or donates to the stream or, cheers some bits or something like that, I'm going to be taking shots of mixed drink that I'm putting together on Sunday night. So it should be a pretty good time. I'm actually really looking forward to it. All right. With the intro rolling in here, let's go ahead and jump into some games. I've got the Azalea deck queued up. Zach was nice enough to put the list together. He updated his matchups he had put together with his Azalea deck, so I'm looking forward to seeing more about how he's playing, how he has his matchup set up, and how that affects us, and how we can get a little bit more out of that. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I guess we want to go second. Maybe we want to go first against Reinar and set up. I don't know. Not really sure. We'll go first here. Oh, big hydrate already. See, I filled up my water to start this just so that I would have my water ready to go. Let's see. Reinar takes out Crow's Nest. He doesn't have the quiver equipped anymore, so there's no reason to have that out that I can think of. And we don't have Onslaughts, Memorial Grounds, Battering Bolts, Sleep Darts, Fates. Okay. We're also only on 2 E-Strikes now. Interesting. So Zach's changed his list a little bit, so I'm curious to see how it goes. All right, big hydrate for Mason here. I'm glad we're starting off early. Shoo! So I think we're just going to Arsenal to Spire Sniping here. Honestly, I think I'm just going to pass an Arsenal. Kind of hope that my opponent's hand might be a little bit awkward here. And we can just go for the opt and flip into the Spire Sniping, and we can see if we can hit a bigger arrow here. Oh, God. Obviously, I shouldn't have eaten dinner right before I decided to start playing games tonight. That was mistake number 1, it appears. Chug challenge complete. Heck yeah, dude. I'm sure it won't be the only time tonight. Oh, man, that's not good. Well, That sucks. I mean, if I let go of my Spire Sniping, I have literally nothing to do. So I think we're just forced to block 6 here. I would have liked to have had 2-3 blocks to play there, but I mean, it is what it is. So I believe if we activate this, we get this ability first. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter too much. And then we can leave this on top for next turn. And then I can throw this here for 3. Or I could just pass. Like, I guess we'll throw this for 3. It's taking us off an arsenal. I don't know. This feels like a weird turn cycle. Yeah, I'm sure that will not be the first chug or the last night of the night, Mason. Hey, what's going on? Carnage? 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 Dude, I'm sorry. I'm trying so much to say that name correctly. I hope I'm getting I hope I'm getting in the ballpark a little bit. I try to pronounce everybody's names correctly in hopes of making everybody feel included, but I hope I'm at least close. Don't try, it's German. Fair enough. I'll call you Cart if that works. I can say that one safely, so oh, thanks for coming by the stream tonight, Cart. You doing all right tonight? You having a good evening? Ooh, double blues. Interesting. It's not something you see very often. So we're probably looking at, if I take 6 here, I can pitch Bolton Shot, or I can pitch Spire Sniping to load Death Dealer with the Bolton Shot. Actually, I could pitch the Bolton Shot to no, because I'd need to use snaps there. So if I pitch Spire Sniping for Death Dealer to load Bolton Shot, we can draw another card, and then I can play the Codex. I can play the Lace with Frailty into the Codex. If I draw an Arrow, then I'm kind of up a creek, because I'd have to discard a card. I think we can take let's take 6 here. I think that's okay. Yeah, I thought about playing some Fab. Oh, are you new to Flesh and Blood? New to Flesh and Blood, or just thinking about playing it tonight, you mean? So we load Bolton Shot. I mean, we could Azalea into a pump and go pump, Codex, discard the Codex. This feels really not that great. Feels like I've had some awkward hands here. I can't tell if it's, again, like my lack of understanding of the Azalea deck or both. No, just thinking to play some Talishar games. Oh, nice. I'm new, yes. My first Nationals and Worlds, but not new to TCGs. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, cool, man. Well, welcome to Flesh and Blood. Congrats on getting to play at Worlds and Nationals your first year, man. That's awesome. That's really exciting. I mean, we could Codex here for, like, not a ton of value here, because, like, we would just be getting the Lace or the Spire Sniping here. I mean, I guess technically I could Codex, discard Codex, and then opt and see what we hit. I don't know. I think that's okay. We'll pick the Spire Sniping. We'll discard this. We'll flip this. So we'll go top, and then we'll let this resolve to put the Rain Razors on the bottom. And we'll throw the Spire Sniping here in to draw the Infecting Shot and arsenal the Infecting Shot to see what we can find for next turn. So trying to set up, have a little bit of a better hand, trying to set up here. I don't know. This feels like some awkward awkward turns to kind of start the game here a little bit, but probably just me. Probably just me. Oh, let's go. Ben with a hydrate. Okay, so they had a D-react. So we weren't going to hit with the... We weren't going to be able to hit if we dominated the infecting shot there regardless, so I'm glad that I made the decision not to do that. I almost went for put Spire Sniping on the bottom to dominate a red infecting shot there, to be able to see and then draw and then arsenal this card here, but I think that we made a better play. I mean... Oh, let's see what they roll. Roll a 5. Roll a 5. Okay. Opponent's starting out pretty hot with rolling 5s tonight. Hopefully it's like claw for 2 into like something for 6. Hopefully it's nothing too impressive. We get something too scary, we might have to be a little bit worried about what happens here. Yeah, I'll take claw for 2 here. I think that's fine. I wonder if Reinar's plan is to fatigue me. I wonder if that's like their play. Kind of scary. Probably something I should be considering. So right now, if I block with the Bolton shot... Okay. I mean, we're going to choose war. Like, that's fine. Okay, so they activated Scabs just to be able to attack and then do that. I mean, I don't really feel like this is a complete waste of a turn. I'm going to get to go 5 go again, putting the Deadeye on the bottom, and then we'll pitch the Read the Glide Path to play the Infecting Shot, and we'll arsenal the Bolton shot here. I think that's a perfectly fine play. Actually, we're going to go Read first, because I would rather put Read on the bottom, and then I would rather the Deadeye be the second card that we're going to see. I'd rather run into the Read the Glide Path first as opposed to anything else. I feel like cards like E-Strike and Ravenous Rabble and stuff like that are going to be really, really important in this matchup to help us make sure that we are not going to get fatigued or run out of cards or arrows here, so that we can make sure we're like trying to stay on the front foot and continuing to push as much pressure as possible. Okay. I mean, the floor of their hand could be block 9 every turn, and then be could just be block 9 every turn, and then just to attack with claw, play like a Oldham style strategy. Doesn't block nearly as well as Oldham does. Oldham had no problem fatiguing Azalea, but how is Azalea? Is working good and high. Hey, La Taberna. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Azalea's fun. I'm definitely not the best Azalea pilot in the world, I can tell you that. That's just my lack of experience kind of coming into play. But I do like Azalea. She's a lot of fun, and I think she offers some really like unique and interesting lines that like can really like they can offer some very like unique play patterns, and I really enjoy that. I think that's a very fun part of Flesh and Blood, is like unique play lines and patterns, and trying to like, you know, use the different play styles of different heroes. I think is a lot of fun for me personally. So cards and tokens they own lose and can't gain names until the start of the turn. I mean, I'm pretty incentivized to just block 6 here, honestly. I think that's like the play that we're looking for here. So we'll activate Cross Wrap here. We'll opt 1. I mean, Spire Sniping is fine. I guess we can put this on top and use our Tunic. And then when this gets flipped in, we'll go to Arsenal. So we'll go... Not that it really matters at this point in time, I don't think. I don't have anything that makes this relevant enough to matter, so I could choose not to Arsenal here, and I could come in for 9 Dominate, which is not a bad play, considering we have Release Attention and Lace with Inertia here. We could honestly do some damage to their arsenal and to their hand because they can't block with cards. Not letting them Arsenal could be very good for us. But not arsenaling is pretty scary. I guess it's okay. I guess it's okay because we're not going to be arsenaling an attack, and there's still 2 more Warmonger's Diplomacies in their deck. So let's play Release Attention. Let's get value out of our cards. We use Tunic because this can't be played from Arsenal. Yep. And then we'll come in for 9 Dominate. I mean, this is pretty good. Like, 9 Dominate's pretty good. Like, you string together enough of those and eventually you'll win the game. As long as you don't run out of cards, I guess. Looked like Curly was texting me. Carly is still stuck at work, by the way, which is, like, so sad. Makes me sad to think about, honestly. Being stuck at work this late, like, is just, like, such a big sad moment. Okay, so we push through, I mean, 6 points here, and they get an inertia, which is pretty solid. Like, push through 6 points here, give them an inertia. Well, that's a 4 and a 5 that they've rolled so far. Play Reed, pitch Infecting Shot to throw Endless Arrow, and then I could Arsenal Knock, or I could block with it here. I think I can just block here. I think this is fine. Oh, excuse me. I'm at 30 plus games played with the new Prism build, but I have to play an open format. I find myself having to use Iris instead of the new Luminaris more often than not. Oh, really? So you're using Iris more often than not. That's really interesting. I would not have guessed that had you like told me to pick something right there. I would not have guessed that that was the play you were going, that you would not have been. I would not have guessed that you would have been on Luminaris. That's super interesting. Or not on Luminaris, that you wouldn't have been on Iris. I mean, Iris is really good. Iris offers like a very like different build of Prism, I feel like, than like we're used to most of the time. So if we opt 1, we can see what we're going to draw into. Lace with Blood Rod is pretty good. Let's go ahead and load the Endless Arrow. We'll play Lace with Blood Rot. And then we will throw the Endless Arrow for 10 here. No Dominate, but on hit we get the Endless Arrow back, which is pretty good because it gives us a way to Arsenal a card anyway. I think that's why I'm okay with putting the Lace with Blood Rot on there, because it makes them block with like 3 cards here if they're going to. I'm actually really curious, Mason, to see like what kind of builds of the new Prism people come out with, because I think the new Prism's going to be really fun and like really cool. I just I think there's going to be a lot of people who are very upset by the new Prism as well. Like, Prism is a hero that naturally just makes people like not happy having to play against it. Hold the line. Okay, so they ended up giving me their entire hand here. They gave me 4 cards to take no damage, and I gave them 3 cards there, so I'd call that a win, honestly. Ew, this is not great. So pitch a Lace with Frailty to activate Death Dealer, put nothing in. E-Strike, put Deadeye on the bottom for 7, and then Arsenal pre-med here. Or I guess I could go draw a card if I wanted to. I guess I could play pre-med here, but that seems kind of bad. Oh, man. I don't know. This does not feel good. If we get Warmongers right here, this is a big feels bad moment. We could give up 2 points and go draw a card to see if we find an attack to Arsenal here to try and play around the Warmongers here, but I don't know. We've only seen one Warmongers here, so I don't know. That's a really tough decision in my opinion. Open format right now is an onslaught of Arachne, KO, Rhinar, and Betsy. I believe that. I believe that, Mason. I firmly believe that is the case, that people are like, that's what people use the open format for, is like they just want to play the new cards, and I get it. Like everybody wants to play the new stuff and have fun. Like I completely understand. I'm actually really curious to see if people play a lot of Olympia. Draw a card and try to fund one arrow better, in my opinion. Yeah, to burn it, I'm not going to argue with you that I think that could have been better, and we would have found the drill shot. So, like, I'm definitely not going to say you're wrong, because, like, I think that, oh, man. Because I think that, I really think that, like, I'm, like, having a stroke right now, sorry. Like, finding an arrow there would have been really good. Like, if we'd have found the drill shot, I would have arsenaled it just to play around the Warmonger's diplomacy. Because if they have one, we're going to get blown out here. I think we're blocking this. We've only seen one CNC, so this is a little scary, but I think we're blocking this here. Or maybe I'm just going to let it hit to see what they name. I don't know. We'll just block 6 here. I don't know. But you burn the Snapdragon Scalers there is a big decision. Yeah, so, like, if we hit an arrow, like, we can still, like, burn, like, snaps and do that. We could also just choose to arsenal the drill shot there if we wanted to. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that play either. I don't know. That's like a really tough call. Like, using the snaps there is a very scary line. I am inclined to agree with you that that's very scary. Like, now the game is progressing pretty quickly here. Like, the game was kind of slow for a minute, but like we're already down to 15. So the game has been pretty slow for a minute here. I mean, I guess we can leave this on top of our deck. We'll go premeditate. We will load the red in the ledger. We'll play the release attention so that we can try to make this hit. Because this is going to be for 11. Which means that, like, they'd have to give us most of their hand or equipment. And the release attention there is kind of like we're playing into the idea that we want our ponder token here, but we're also playing into the idea that they're playing quite a few defense reactions, and we want to make sure that we're not just like giving up that we're not just giving up free block from Arsenal here when we can. I wonder if most people would say that this is a favored matchup for Azalea or a scary matchup for Azalea. I honestly don't know. It's a genuine question because I don't know what I would say right there. I don't feel like I know enough about Azalea to really give like a big opinion and be like, oh, like it's super favored into this or super not favored into this or, you know, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to refresh here just in case it's me. Probably just my opponent deciding here. It's an okay matchup, I think. That's fair, man. All right, I was asking my opponent if they were there, and they said they were thinking. to just bear with them. So I put no problem. I just wanted to make sure. I don't ever want to claim victory if my opponent is like trying to think. I would rather play the game out to the best of its ability if I can. But sometimes people leave and they don't say anything. So like when it pops up and says claim victory like this, I always like to make sure and ask. It's a race. Okay, fair enough, Death. That makes sense. I was like, honestly, oh, that's a good arsenal. I was like, yeah, honestly, don't know. I was like, so I'm gonna take your all's word for it. I was like 9 times out of 10 when you guys tell me something, I'm gonna take your all's word for it just because I like to, you know, you guys generally like, you know, for the most part, I feel like Flesh and Blood's not as bad about this, like the community. A lot of people like that I've known over the years, they would like give opinions on things like, you know, basically no matter what. Rabble. So opt 1. This having go again doesn't matter. So opt 1, rabble. If I keep this, I can pitch to Death Dealer to Searing Shot. I think I can block 3 here. So if I block 3, I'm giving up 3 points of offense here. So my hand is hopefully 4, 8, and then 7/8 if I keep my cards here. Or if I block 3, my hand is 4, 8, 12. I think I can afford to go to 9 here. The fact that they discarded a pummel makes me wonder as well. I guess I'm just going to say no blocks, and if they have the pummel, we'll discard the Bolton shot here. The fact that they discarded the pummel means they're probably not happy about it. But it is what it is. All right. If Azalea can disrupt or get big turns, she wins. If Reinhardt gets big turns, he wins. You don't really block much as Azalea. That's fair. But Azalea has on hits and Reinhardt doesn't. That is also true. Azalea does have some pretty good on-hit effects that Reinhardt does not have access to, which probably gives you maybe like somewhat of an edge in this matchup. We'll leave this on top. I think this is perfectly fine. We're going to go Rabble for 4. They're probably going to use Fleshbag here. This is going to be the best time for them to use Fleshbag here. After if they don't Fleshbag this, for what it's worth, I'm going to go ahead and Death Dealer, load the Searing Shot, play Seek and Destroy, then play my Rabble, so that if they do use the Fleshbag on the 2nd or 3rd attack, the only thing they can take is the red Bolton shot that I'm going to arsenal anyway. So that's pretty cool. If you block with 2 cards, he has no action point anymore. Otherwise, you take lots of damage. That's the mistake in my eyes. If you block 2 cards, you take his turn as he discarded his non-attack with it anyway. So Cart, we had just hit with a red in the ledger, so that was all he was going to do regardless. So us blocking there, like us blocking, that changes our turn a little bit. Unfortunately, that changes our turn a little bit. Man, that sucks. I guess I can just use Bullseye Bracers here, which is fine. But yeah, so oh, no, you're good, Cart. You're good, buddy. It's easy to miss that kind of stuff. I understand watching on Twitch and the screen's smaller and stuff like that. I get it. No worries at all. Not bothered whatsoever, dude. I appreciate you trying to point out a better line for me. I appreciate it. If you have an edge, I think is until he finds Blood Rush. Gotcha. Yeah. So I mean, I could see that. Like our on-hit effects give us some pretty relevant like ways to get ahead pretty early. So I could definitely see us having the edge until he finds a big Blood Rush turn. 100%. I could totally see that being the case. So let's go ahead and activate Bullseye Bracers here. Load in the Bolton shot. Play Seek and Destroy. We're going to activate Azalea to get the red Bolton shot here. And then we're going to come in for 7 Dominate on hit Seek and Destroy. And with no equipment, there's a okay chance I think this will hit here. Really depends on if he has a D-React in his arsenal or not. Depends on what our opponent has set up here. But I feel like we're in a pretty decent spot. And we're going to get to arsenal our Searing Shot here that our opponent left us with. So if we can keep 2 cards, we're going to be able to throw double arrow next turn, which is pretty solid. I won't complain about that. Yo, Caleb, what's up, dude? How are you, man? I'm going to go ahead and say it now. Probably the sexiest stream title yet. Oh, well, thanks, Shep. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I do what I can. I do what I can for you guys. Like to keep the people entertained. Oh, man. So our opponent goes to 1. They have to have a Blood Rush turn, right? Like this just has to be a Blood Rush turn, right? There's no world where my opponent's going to go to 1 without a Blood Rush. My opponent has rolled a 4, 2 5s, a 6, and 1 1. Like, I'd have said, like, you know, I'd have been okay with a 3 right there. Like, anything 3, or like a 3 or 2 would have been great, but like a 5 gives him 2 action points, which, I mean, to be fair, like, our turn is really solid. We can go Opt, Reveal Searing Shot, hopefully hit a red, and then we have Ravenous Rabble, Searing Shot, Snap, Codex of Frailty, and I can block 6. This is a Lexi hand right here if I've ever seen one. If you live next turn, you win, dude. Absolutely. If I live this turn is the important part of what you said, Death. 100%. Good. I'm going to make 2 decks next set. Oh, nice, Caleb. What decks? What heroes are you going to build? I saw it pop up as a notification on my phone. Like, oh my. Oh man. Listen, I do my best to keep everybody entertained if I can. Part of me wonders if I should just give Rabble here and keep my Codex. Block 6? I think this is better than, like, potentially dying, I think. Carly just said, just wait until the New Year's Eve stream. I'm so excited for the New Year's Eve stream. Guys, if you weren't here at the beginning of the stream, I talked about it just a minute ago. I will be sure to talk about the New Year's Eve stream here in just a minute. Am I dead to that? That is a big Sag. That is a big Sag. I tried to keep 1 card and now I'm just dead. Man. That is a big Sag indeed. That was a close game. Honestly, I thought we were going to win that one. Should I have blocked with the Codex? Is there some world where I'm supposed to block with the Codex too there? God, if I keep the Codex, if I block with the Codex, well, no, it doesn't matter. I would have had to have blocked. No, there was no way around it, right? He takes a card. I block 6. I would have technically have had to have given all 3 cards to overblock the first attack, and then from there, I would have had to have given both pieces of equipment. Went to 1, get red in the ledger back. Activate Skullbone Cross Wraps to get I don't have that. So I literally just get to throw the Searing Shot for 4, take 2 cards out of my opponent's hand, and I'm at 1, which means I'm dead to a Reckless Swing. That sucks. So had they rolled a 3 or less there, we would have won. That's a big Sag. Oh well, you can't win them all. Depresso. KO and Betsy? Oh, dude. That's awesome, Caleb. I'm really excited to build a Betsy deck. I think it's going to be good. But is this the Pummel, though? That could have been the Pummel there, actually, Mason. That would have been... Yeah, no, that would have been, like, yeah, the Pummel would have been crazy. KO does look crazy, Taberna. I'm actually really excited about KO. I am really excited about KO. I think KO is going to be really cool and the most consistent brute we've ever seen, which I think is going to make KO, like, a lot of fun. Let's update the record. We lost a close one, which is a little depresso, but that's okay. Well, this kid is pissed that we aren't watching a show, so I'll be back. That sounds good, Shep. That sounds good, man. Yeah, that was gross, Mason. Losing a game that way was gross. You full blocks to no. He hit IRL with the Intimidate, so you were just dead. If he didn't, you can block with both equipment and go to 1. Yeah, so Death, being able to block with both pieces of equipment right there and being able to block with both of the 2/3 blocks would have been very good. If he would have taken I needed him to take a Codex so that could be the card I got back, a Rabble or a Codex, because Rabble or Codex gets every card out of his hand except for 1, which I'm okay with, because then at that point we just block Claw with 1 card and we're good to go. That would have been cool. Hey, what's up, Flux? How are you, man? I like some of the stuff that the cards do. Yeah, Caleb, I think Betsy and like KO, I think this new set's going to be really cool. I'm honestly super excited to play limited in this next set. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Super close game. Died to my Intimidate from 9 life. All right, that was a super close game. That game was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so I talked about this at the beginning of the stream, and I'm going to mention it again for anybody who missed it, and I'll probably talk about it a couple times throughout the night. On Sunday night, I'm going to be having a New Year's Eve stream. I thought Carly had the idea. Actually, it was Carly's idea. What a more fun way. Is there a more fun way than to bring in the year playing Flesh and Blood? So starting around 7 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to be firing up the stream, and then we're going to be playing well into Monday morning, I guess, if you will, to bring in the new year. So I'm really excited to do that and bring that in. But it's going to be a little bit different. As you guys know, I don't really involve alcohol in my streams very often, but we're going to be setting it up on Sunday so that there's some alcohol involved. I posted all of it in the Discord. You can find everything in the Discord if you guys are a part of it. If you're not a part of the Discord, you can hit !Discord and join the Discord if you'd like to. But basically, every time somebody donates to the stream, every time somebody becomes a member or a subscriber, or somebody like gives a subscription or something like that, or cheers with bits or anything like that, I'm going to be taking a shot. So I had somebody ask the other night about what it would take for me to be drinking alcohol on stream. So that is what we're looking at right now. I am going to be taking a shot every time somebody donates, cheers bits, anything like that, subscribes, becomes a member, anything like that. Because I'm going to be honest, guys, I'm a lightweight. And I don't drink that often, so getting me to drink pretty heavily on camera is definitely going to require some money to be involved. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm pretty excited about that. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, he just hit the dice and rolled the 50-50 Intimidate. Yeah, no, absolutely. Death. It was a close game, though. It was a close game. That's a lucky Rhinar player. Yeah, Nivek, that was. He got pretty lucky with his rolls, but I mean, some day the dice are your friends and some days they're not. I've won a lot of Rhinar games because my opponents hit ones back-to-back rolls, so I'll take the good with the bad. I'll take the good with the bad. Every 1 damage you take a shot. Oh my gosh, Cart, you're trying to get me killed, brother. Every damage I take a shot, dude. I would be dead. I would be dead within an hour. That would be wild, dude. You will be very drunk. Oh, dude, Nivek. I will be very drunk on the stream. It'll be very funny. I'm a very fun drunk, I have to say. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I've never done a stream like this before where I've drank or really had any alcohol involved. So I'm pretty excited. I think it'll be pretty fun and pretty interactive. And I think it'll be really cool. I'm really excited about it. Just join Discord? Caleb, who are you talking to, man? So I shouldn't set $50 aside and just keep gifting subs every few minutes? I mean, listen, Mason, I would appreciate the gifted subs, and if you guys want to see me drunk, I mean, that's a quick way to do it. That is a quick way to do it, man. That's a very quick way to do it. Oh, man. 1 game over? Yeah. Nivette, get your subs ready, guys. Yeah, dude. Dude, absolutely. Yeah, you I was like, yeah, get your sub buttons ready. If you've considered becoming a member of the stream on YouTube, or if you considered becoming a subscriber on Twitch, then Sunday's the time to do it, because Carly and I were like planning it out. It's not going to be straight liquor that I'm taking shots of, because I will actually die if we do that. But it'll be like mixed drinks that like we're going to put together and have for Sunday. So I'm pretty excited. I think it's going to be a really fun stream. Oh, you just joined the Discord. Okay, cool. That's awesome, dude. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Discord, Caleb. You're giving yourself an hour. I'm gonna do. Listen. I can make it an hour. I can make it an hour. Okay. Let's do a game. Yeah, Cart. If you want to play a game, I'm down for that. That'd be fun. I think it'll be fun. I need to use the bathroom really quick, but I'll be happy to make a game and shoot you. And I'll put your name in the game name, so you'll see it there. The faster he gets shit-faced, the faster the stream ends, and I'm not entertaining like he is. Oh, listen, I think I'll be a very fun drunk. I mean, one, I'm already a fun drunk, and two, I think it'll be fun for me to be streaming like that. I think it'll be really fun on Sunday. I'm really excited about it. I told Carly it was a great idea, so I'm going to take like 2 minutes here. I'm going to go use the bathroom. I'm going to fill up my water cup for whoever does Big Hydrate next. And then when I come back, Cart, we'll get a game in here if you're still hanging out, man. Okay, short break, and we're back. All right, Cart, you still here, man? You still want to play a game, Cart? Oh. I was like, if not, we can play one. We can play if Cart comes back and hangs out. But I'm gonna give it a second to see if Cart's here before I fire up another game. I know there's a little bit of a delay for the stream for you guys, so. Hey, Wally, what's going on? Yeah, dude, we're on Azalea. I'm continuing my push of doing my best to learn Azalea, and not make Azalea look too bad, because Azalea is a very powerful deck, and if Azalea looks lacking while we're playing, I promise you it is because I am not the best Azalea player. Oh, man. All right, I haven't. All right. Cart hasn't said anything, so I'm gonna fire up a game, and if Cart comes back and wants to play, we'll play one with him later. We lost round 1 to Reinar. Super close game where my opponent rolled. I would say my opponent rolled pretty well, like 10-1 odds. Like that name. Again, why does he keep taking Crow's Nest out? I assume he's just forgetting to put these things in. We don't have Fates, Sleep Darts. card effects and activated abilities here. That's an activated ability. I mean, Sleep Dart doesn't seem that bad into Prism. We're already playing 68 cards. I mean, what the heck? Let's just run 70, right? Like, let's just... We ball. Let's roll with it. Do you know if there's a Talishar tournament? Oh, like, is there a tournament tonight, Caleb? Because if there is, like, dude, I'm always trying to find online tournaments I can play in. I'm sorry, is that Reality Refractor? Interesting. Yeah, if there's ever a tournament you guys are aware of, please let me know. I'm always down to, like, find a tournament or something to play in online. In fact, I would love to find a tournament to play in online. I kind of want to load in the Battering Bolt here. I know it's a little aggressive here to go ahead and get rid of every single card in my hand to be able to throw the Battering Bolt for 9, but I kind of want to get rid of it here. I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of interested. I played that dude earlier. He was running the version of Iris that hits for 5. He did spam auras. I actually took 0 damage from him. Well, I'm curious to see how my game goes against him. Ooh, Soul Shield to start off with. Okay. I don't know if he's like playing super defensive or if like, I mean, probably if he's playing a card like Reality Refractor here, then yeah, I mean, he's probably trying to play a little, yeah, yellow Sink Below. It's a spicy meatball. Quick tips, don't be afraid to blind Azalea, buff on top of the deck, and buff an Arsenal, best bet 9 out of 10 times. Ooh, against Prism, really? That's interesting. I would not have guessed that, Wally. I would not have guessed that. That's really neat, actually. No, is there online tournaments? So, Caleb, I've heard people talk about there being online tournaments. Like I've heard people like mention that there are online tournaments in some capacity, but I've never actually seen one or been able to play in one, but people tell me that they do exist. I have heard that they do exist. So, is it possible that the correct play here is just to throw Raging Onslaught and then Arsenal the Lace with Frailty? Like, I get to come in for 6, and then I get to just Arsenal the Lace with Frailty here. That doesn't seem like a bad line of play here. At plus 60, if you have D-Reacts, do not blind. So there's no D-Reacts in the deck, D. We took them out. We don't have any in the list. It's all arrows or codexes or anything like that. So there's nothing. There's no D-Reacts in the list. I think let's just pitch Knock. Or maybe I'm supposed to pitch Bolton Shot to like Arsenal the Lace, and then we can try to make a Knock play happen next turn. Or we could like go get a Bolton Shot and dominate. Maybe that was the correct play here. I'm not sure. Yeah, he had yellow sinks and yellow sigils and yellow favor scene, LOL. I think the dude is trolling or something. He's probably like, it's weird that he's playing all those yellows and then he's playing Reality Reflector. Like, I don't know why you would want to be on all those yellows and then Reality Reflector. Back-to-back Soul Shields. He's spending D-Reacts on like non-dominated attacks, which may be the way his hand lines up, but at the same time, I think it's a win for us. So it's pretty interesting. He does have 2 cards in his soul though because of it, so we're gonna have to be a little bit careful here. We could Arsenal the Lace with Frailty or the Bolton Shot here to try and have a 2-arrow turn next turn. I kind of like Arsenaling the Bolton Shot here so that we can have a double arrow turn with our Tunic counter up. I think that's the better play that we have here. And he puts a Parable of Humility into play on my turn. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's a legal play he's allowed to make. It's an interesting play, but I mean, legal, I suppose. I would love to do one. I just can't find the people. Yeah, Caleb, I would love to find one, man. Honestly, I would love to find an online tournament to play in. Arsenal of Bolton for 2-arrow turn, but it's blue, so that's fair. Hey, what's up, Riddler? How are you, man? What's crazy, Taberna? Early Soul Shields? Yeah, Nivek, they've had some, oh, you're talking about the 2 Soul Shields? Yeah, they've had 2 early Soul Shields, which is very good. That is a very, very, very good start for them to have 2 early Soul Shields like that. Lace with Frailty, Lace with Frailty. We just put an E-Strike on top. Let's attack the Prism for 7 here, if I'm not mistaken, because of the Parable of Humility. So this is 7 go again, which means a card and a red D-React here would cover it up. I can't just say D-React because they are playing yellows, apparently, which is like, I'm still kind of caught off guard by that. Yellow Aura, Fatigue, I'm guessing. It could be Fatigue. They could definitely just be trying to run us out of auras or run us out of arrows here, which would make sense. That would be their game plan. Yeah, if they're on like blue and movables and everything, then this is more than likely a fatigue style deck. I think we're just gonna have to pitch the Raging Onslaught here to go Bolton or to go Drill Shot. We get to draw into our E-Strike, and then I'm gonna kill the Parable of Humility. I think that's my best play here. It's just to get rid of the Parable this way. And then we have a go again turn set up with our E-Strike in Arsenal, which I'm personally a pretty big fan of. So let's opt 1. We could get arc lighted here, but it is what it is. I would pick the aura when you can. Yeah, Caleb, try to keep the auras off the board if I can, for sure. Absolutely. I guess we can put this on the top. I mean, I don't mind to Arsenal this. So we'll go E-Strike, putting a red Bolton shot on the bottom, and we'll go again. And then I'm going to use Tunic to load the red Bolton shot and go Lace, and then we're going to Arsenal our yellow Bolton shot and just try to put on as much pressure as we can here. Yeah, then load the drill, pop the aura, Arsenal draw. Yep, okay. I'm glad that nobody's just being like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Because sometimes when I play decks that I'm not familiar with, sometimes you guys like roast me alive, and I appreciate it. Like I like that you guys keep me honest. I really do. I'm definitely a fan of you guys keeping me honest and being like, I would rather you guys be like, what are you doing? You know, like that's like, I just don't think that's right. I would rather you guys keep me honest and play that way. Okay, so our opponent takes 5 here. We're gonna use Tunic. Death Dealer. I mean, I guess before I played, we could have went blind Azalea right there, but I don't think we're supposed to. I don't think we're supposed to. I think we're just supposed to take the 10-point turn. And if this hits, we get to reload the Bolton shot, which doesn't matter. We're not going to attack with it. We just leave it in our arsenal anyway, so just leave it there anyway. Yo, Slip, what's up, man? How are you, buddy? You doing all right this evening? Curious to see how our opponent tries to block this one here. Yeah. We've seen 2 blue and movables, so this could be the 3rd one. They pitched one to play one like last turn. Something tells me this is a D-React. I mean, like, it could be the 3rd Soul Shield. They have 1 more Soul Shield and 1 more blue and movable. They could be on, like, red and movables and stuff, too, which would kind of be wild, in my opinion. So they activate Radiant Touch and Radiant View to take 1. And that has Ward 1. Okay, interesting. That was a weird hand. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. KO hype? Dude, I know, Slip. KO looks awesome, dude. I'm really excited about it. Working at 16 at the moment? Ugh, dude, I'm sorry. That sounds rough, dude. I'd be lying if I said I envied that, brother. I hope it goes by quickly. That's really all I can say for you, man. So leave Lace with Inertia on top. So if I leave Lace on top, I can come in with Rabble for 4, and then I can activate Azalea, go buff, put Remorseless into play, and then attack with Remorseless for 11 and Arsenal the card that I draw. Although Lace with Inertia is kind of like a little bit of a non-bow with the Seek and Destroy. Maybe I'm supposed to put it on bottom and just like blind flip here. Nah, let's leave it on top. I think that's fine, honestly. I think that's like a perfectly fine play. Yeah, I think that even though the Lace and Seek and Destroy are kind of non-bows together, I think that's okay. Pitch double yellow Sigil to flash in Ode to Wrath. Okay. Okay. I mean, what? After they played the Ode to Wrath, I was thinking that maybe I should have swapped my play. Maybe I'm supposed to swap my play right there. Maybe I'm supposed to play a pump, come in with the Bolt and Shot and Arsenal for 6, and then pitch my Remorseless to use Death Dealer to put in my other Bolt and Shot, and then attack the Ode to Wrath for 3. And then from there, I can... And then from there, I can Arsenal a pump? I don't know. I don't know, that's weird. That's a weird hand. Waiting for the Adult Volda and heavy hitters and rooting for another new brute hero. Navek, Adult Volda would be really cool. That would be a really cool hero to have, honestly. We're going to Arsenal our Seek and Destroy here. I mean, this feels like a pretty good Snapdragon Scalar's hand. Okay, so now we have to decide, are we now at a point in time where, like... And they definitely did that backwards. They should have let that hit first. I don't know. That was weird. I'm like, are we now at a point in time where I can ignore these and just attack them because they're so low we can just kill them because they're at 11 here? It's almost over. 2 more hours. Oh, dude. 2 more hours, man. I hope it goes by fast, brother. Hands must be weird. You talking about their hands? Yeah, I assume their hands, like, their deck seems super weird. They've only showed us like a couple of blue cards, and it's been Haze Bending, Passing Mirage, and Blue Immovable, so I don't really know what they're up to. They're also playing Reality Reflector, which in my opinion isn't the play. Oh, I completely agree, Slip. I completely agree. I think Adult Volda is pretty much confirmed to this point. I think they're trying to stay away from single format heroes. I mean, dude, Adult Volda would be really cool. I think that's like something really fun that everybody would be looking forward to. I guess we're going to put this on the bottom. I don't know. I could leave this on top. So if I leave this on top... No, we have to bottom this. Okay. I mean, Be lying if I said that was great for me, but I think that's fine. Because now I'm going to pitch Infecting Shot to load Bolton Shot. And then I'm going to attack the Arc Light. And then we're just going to Arsenal the Bolton Shot here. Like, again, I think this is perfectly fine. They already pitched an Arc Light earlier, so there's only one left in their deck here. Like, at this point, like, they could have it. Not likely. They could have it. Not likely, though. So leave Release on top. Do I play Codex to get a Ponder, to give them a Frailty, and to make them get something back here? I could alternatively Azalea in the Release Attention, play Release Attention, pitch my Codex of Frailty for Death Dealer, load in Remorseless, play Remorseless for 8, play the Rain Razor, snap, Bullseye Bracers in the Endless Arrow. But I can just make that play after I do this, right? I can just lead with the Bolton Shot here. I can literally just Bolton Shot and then just make the exact same play I just said. I don't need to do anything else here. Okay. Okay. Shoo. Let's see. You can really put the pressure on the opponent. You already have the upper hand. Bolton Shot into Rain Razors. This could be also be a Bracers play. Bullseye into Endless Arrow, loading in Remorseless, and use the buff from the top. Use snaps, of course. Yeah, see, you guys are, like, recognizing all this stuff, like, before it's even registering in my head. Which, like, it makes me happy to, like, to see you guys, like, seeing all this stuff. Because, like, I'm seeing it later. Like, I'm glad I recognized it, though. Because I think me recognizing the Rain Razor, like, that this was my play, is the best option that I have. Yeah, I actually, like, I'm like pretty happy that yeah, like, I don't know what this person's deck is. This does not feel like a great deck. But that's fine because this still has go again, so they still take 1. Or I'm sorry, they still take 4. Go to 7. We get to reload for free here. I kind of want to draw the card though, right? So I'm actually not going to do anything. I want to draw the Release Attention because I'm pretty sure it just ends the game. Remorseless. Release Attention. Remorseless for 8 at our opponent here. And then we get to use Snap, Bullseye Bracers. Or, I'm sorry, this is for 9. We get +2 from the Rain Razors, but we get -1 from the Parable of Humility here. So our opponent just have a no block in their hand. Alright, that was a weird game. I don't really know what our opponent's deck was or what they were doing, but that was weird. That was really weird. I'm walking to my car. Okay, good. Please let me know when you make it to your car. Be safe coming home. It's super late and there's a lot of crazy people out there in the world, so please be careful coming home. Yeah, I don't know about this Prism either. I don't know about this Prism either, Taberna. That was a weird game. That was a weird game. I play enough to recognize plays from heroes I've played against. LOL, Slip. That's fair, man. That's fair. It's funny because, like, when I'm sitting on the other side of the table, I can, like, start to recognize your play patterns. But when I'm actually playing, like, the hero like myself, I have a harder time, like, recognizing the play patterns, which is, like, super weird to me in my head. I think it's like because certain heroes have like scarred me and just like beat me in certain ways, so like it registers when I'm sitting across from you what you're doing, but I have a harder time putting the lines together when I'm seeing all the cards. So no clue what my opponent was playing. Ended at 40. All right, so like Mason, we kind of had the perfect game there. I don't know if my opponent is like just experimenting with what they're doing. I don't know. Like they could just be experimenting with like the game in general with what they're doing, like trying out a prism list. So, but I mean, either way, if they are, I tip my hat to them. Also, New Year's makes people dumb. That's that's fair. The week between Christmas and New Year's is like one of those weeks where like I feel like nobody really does anything. Like unless you're like you work in the world of sales, nobody really does anything the last week of the year. So everybody's just kind of hanging out in their head. I'm in my car. Good. I'm glad you made it safe, baby. One of the best things from Fab for me is the play lines with every hand. Oh, dude, absolutely, Taberna. Absolutely. It's like it's probably the best thing about Flesh and Blood is the different play lines you get from the different games you play. Like I truly love that about the game. I think it makes the game so much more fun. So we're running 68 cards here. No Fates, no Memorial Ground, and no Raging Onslaughts. Again, I'm just kind of running Zach's idea here, and we're just taking... Oh, excuse me. We're taking everything that Zach's put together here, and we're just kind of rolling with it. He is playing Dawnblade into us, so it feels like it's going to be a little bit of a race here. Pitching a Twinning Blade, I mean, could just block 6, keep the E-Strike here. I could block E-Strike and Bolton Shot. I don't know if blocking with the E-Strike over the red Bolton Shot is correct there. Shut your mouth? What did I say? Oh, you're talking about at the end of the year? Uh-oh. Carly works in accounting. Carly's the controller for the company she works at, so the end of the year is super busy for her, and I always forget to mention that part. Whoopsie. Oh, she hates when I do that. She hates when I do that. They're going to give me back the Bolton Shot here, like almost assuredly. That's what they'll give me back here. Versus Dory is another race here. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. The new warrior I see using Great Axe. Are you talking about the are you talking about Olympia, Caleb? Like if you're talking about Olympia, then like I could see him using the Great Axe. I could see that for sure. I find it funny it's censored. What's censored? What's censored, Slip? I was like, Arsenal a card or a counter? I assume it's Arsenal a card. That's why I only block 3. Because I would assume my opponent would rather Arsenal a card as opposed to get 1 counter on the Dawnblade every single time. We're really hoping to like find like a red in the ledger or something that we can do. We want to wear down some of their equipment first, but... So let's read and see what's on top here. I mean, I think we'll put that on the bottom. I don't know. That lets us go get a red in the ledger here. Let's top that here. We're going to load in the Bolton Shot. We want to see if our opponent will give us some equipment block as early as possible. Load in the Bolton Shot. I mean... We could just dominate like red here for 8, but I don't think that's correct. I think we want to play the premeditate and then come in for 10. And then we can always arsenal this. And if they happen to have a Warmonger's Diplomacy, then that's not great for us. But, you know, we'll do what we can here. We'll do what we can. Speaking of Censor, it's a good KO card. I could see Censor being really good in that deck because it discards for 6. That's actually insane. Now that I've thought about that. The message Appy sent, did it get censored in the Twitch chat? Huh. That's weird. It didn't do it on my screen. That's weird. I wonder why I did that on your all screen. She said I didn't even swear. I could have said something much worse. Lol. That's hilarious. Yeah, I got censored on the Twitch chat. Oh wow, that's wild. That's like crazy to me that I got censored on the Twitch chat. Lol. I usually use the drill shots for taking the armor as fast as possible. Yeah, Taberna, like drill shot is a card that is way better early than late. 100%. 100%. That is a card that is way better early game than late game. Somebody once explained it to me. The longer the game goes on, the more worthless your drill shot becomes, and I think that's a very good way to look at it. Ooh, battering bolt. That's a spicy meatball. Oh no! You stop that. You stop that, sir. Oh boy. Oh boy. I mean, if we block 9, we're playing around Glistening Steelblade, but we're not playing around Route. I could say no blocks here. Because this kind of like says Glint here as well. If I say no blocks, I can go knock the Death Whistle. I have no pumps though, which is kind of bad. Kind of makes me just want to block 9. I could blind Azalea. So I could opt to see what we have. We could blind Azalea if it's bad. If it's a good arrow, we dominate it. Throw it. I could always just block 9 here and then throw the Rabble. And then leave the knock in my arsenal here. I don't know. But he's giving you all right now. Yeah, him giving up the equipment right there is really good for us. Let's see. Drew said dominate battering bolt and return. Ooh, that would be really good. Tell him to stop being a stinker. I don't think that'll work, Slip, but I like the optimism here. Let's go. So I mean, I think we're just gonna say no blocks on this one. We can dominate a battering bolt here, and that's pretty good. They play a lot of action cards, but they play a lot of reaction cards too, so let's just pass here. We'll block on the next one. We'll see what they do, because if they wanted to play their Glint the Quicksilver here, they have to use their Refraction Bolters, which means they literally have one piece of equipment block left. Which, I think is a total win for us here. They definitely have another route. That would make sense if they had another route. That would make a lot of sense here. If they have another route, are we just blocking with both of our blues here? I mean, I guess we're taking a chance that they don't have it. So, opt 1, see what we can find, and then we could knock, reload the Spire Sniping, flip this, and then dominate the battering bolt. But that doesn't require the second knock, which means we could technically... We'd need to keep one of these. We already see a battering bolt. No, that was last game. So we can just block 3 here. Maybe I'm supposed to block with the knock there. I don't know. Okay, so they had the Steel Blade here, which is fine. They're probably Steel Blade for the route. Overpower is probably pretty good here. Gotcha. So they were looking for the Twinning Blade. But they didn't have go again, so it doesn't matter. Get wrecked, opponent. Draw a card all you want to. It does not matter. It's kind of good for us. Battering empties their hand, so I think that's the play, as bad as it'll hurt. Yeah, it does suck to take a little bit of damage there, but it's honestly not bad for us. So let's leave this on top. Let's go Rabble for 4. They're probably just going to take the 4 here if I had to guess. And then we'll play the knock. Get a battering bolt. We'll reload the Spire Sniping. Activate Azalea. I mean, yeah, I guess we'll give it the Crow's Nest counter. Like, who cares? And then we'll come in for 6 Dominate, and we'll hope that they don't have a Steel Blade Shunt here or a D-React in their arsenal so that we can push this through. I would really like for this to hit and take some damage out of it. Like, oh, yeah. Them blocking with a Yellow Iron Song response. Oh, no, they had it. They had it. Big Sag. That would have been a really good play. That would have been a great play for us. This is tough. I feel like I'm really in a bad spot. Well played. Thanks to Berna. Yeah. Well played, but my opponent's mistake. We take him, though. We take him. Did you ever decide about going to Cincinnati? We are going to go. Yep, Logan, I will be in Cincinnati, buddy. It'll be me and Silas and Nathaniel, 3 guys from the team that are all going to Cincinnati. I'm pretty excited to go. I think it's going to be a really good trip. So play knock. Get the last battering bolt. Put red, or put, get the last battering bolt, put red in, activate Azalea, attack with battering bolt for 6 Dominate, and then if they have the react, we Rain Razors to make it 8 to push it over the top. We also have the option of just throwing the red and then arsenaling the Bolton shot. I could block 9 and arsenal the Bolton shot here. Let's say no blocks. I don't know. Cincy for both days? Yeah, Slip. We're going for both days. I think we had talked about maybe coming back early Sunday, but I think we're gonna play in both events. I think we're gonna play on both Saturday and Sunday. I'd like to play in the PTI event as well. I really like my file list, so I feel like it'd kind of be a shame if I didn't give myself a shot to find or to play at least both of the to play in both of the events. Awesome. Hope to see you then. Absolutely, Logan. Absolutely, man. Please come and say hi, man. I'd love to meet you. I feel like we're falling behind in a very bad way, but I don't think that blocking is the answer to us winning this game. So Lace with Frailty, and then I'm going to try and use the Rain Razors to push this over the top here. And then we're going to use the red in the ledger to try and come in for 7. And do our best to make their turn as awkward as possible. And giving them a Frailty should be pretty good. I guess we'll go ahead and take the opt here. We should opt. I think Seek and Destroy is fine on top. And then we'll come in for 7. If we were able to find like a red in the ledger right there, I would have activated Azalea. A red in the ledger or a battering bolt, I would have actually flipped right there and then came in for the extra points of damage there to try and push through to try and get ahead right there. Definitely would have been the play for me right there. So they have a D-React. They like those That All You Gots against us, which is kind of surprising, but... Three, 5, 7, 9. I'm probably just supposed to block 7 here and then Arsenal. Honestly, I could block 6 and Arsenal my red in the ledger. I could just go to 12, and then I could come in for 14, which is pretty good. I kind of like coming in for 14, if I'm being honest. That is like a very valuable play here for us. So, premeditate, lace, seek and destroy, red in the ledger for 14. Now, they might be able to cover this up, but they're going to have to do quite a bit here to cover this up. I keep making these plays that take me off of an arsenal, but I feel like I have to have a turn where I can disrupt them and put them on the back foot in order for me to get out and get ahead. Like, I feel like that's what has to happen. Big catch up and limit their turn. Yeah, Slip. That's definitely what we're going for here. That's definitely what we're going for here. I'm hoping that this is like a turn that like is just so backbreaking for them that like it just doesn't matter. That is kind of what we're hoping for right here. 50% life total? I mean, that's true, Taberna. That's true. I kind of wish we had a couple pumps in this hand. I'm pretty incentivized here to block 9. So if I block 9... I can actually, if I block 9 here, if I block Remorseless, Infecting Shot, Battering Bolt, I play around basically everything but Overpower and Route, and then I give myself the ability to pitch my Codex to activate Death Dealer to go get a 1-cost arrow, which probably just looks like red in the ledger for us. And then we throw our red in the ledger and then arsenal whatever we draw. Alternatively, I could block 3, take some damage because they'll buff up some counters here, and then I can actually... no, that doesn't work. There's not really anything that works for me the way I need it to here. I think blocking 9 is our best play. I don't know. If it hits Ponder. So they just let us... They just took that, and then they're going to Seek and Destroy is going to get rid of all their cards, which I kind of like to see here. I will pick Infecting Shot with Codex, maybe. Not sure. Ooh, Infecting Shot could be correct. Could just be like a straight damage push for us. We could also, if we find a... do we have a 0-cost arrow here? We should have a Bolton Shot. So if we wanted to, I could go Reed on top, play Reed to opt. So if we go this on top, activate Azalea, play Reed. I think we'll bottom that. I don't know. I don't know if that's correct or not. We're going to go Codex of Frailty. And then we're going to get our red Bolton Shot here. We're going to come in for 7 on hit on hit, nothing really. Our opponent goes to 7. We find a Ponder we like. Rabble's pretty good. This hand is like actually insane. I mean, unless I'm crazy, this hand is like bonkers because they can't kill us here. Like, an Overpower's 3, Route is 3. Like, the only way they could kill us here is if they had, like, Twinning Blade. I think we just say no blocks here. Yeah, no blocks? Yeah, Taberna, I'm honestly thinking it's no blocks here. Donnie for 2, though? Dude. You love to see that this is only for 4, honestly. Is there a world where I want... So we're going to try to find a red. We're going to go 4. Pitch Bolton Shot, Death Dealer. Load in Bolton Shot. Actually, we're going to play Reed first to see what we draw. We're going to load in the other Bolton Shot. Come in for X amount, and then Bullseye Bracers in the Searing Shot. And at that point, if we have another arrow, then like we can arsenal it, and it's a pump, we can play it. I think that's our best play here. I think we just have to say no blocks. Like, he has to add 8 more points to this, and I don't know how he could kill me from here. I don't think it's possible. Like, again, this is for 2. I could honestly just, like, now, there's no reason. Like, again, even if this is a 1 for 3, I'm taking 5 and going to 3. Like, they get a counter here, but, like, you definitely should have played that before damage, bro. Like, that was just a mistake. So we're going to leave this on top because it's a good arsenal. We have Rabble for 4, which they don't have to block, but they will block. I think that's honestly a smart block from our opponent here. Do I want to put the Sleep Dart on the bottom? I think I do. I think I want to put the Sleep Dart on the bottom. Yellow Infecting Shot is pretty good. Let's go Bolton Shot for 7. Another attack. This demands a block. They have to block this one. We're going to reload in the Infecting Shot here. And then I'm going to come in for 4, and you're going to have to give me both of your cards. Unless you have a defense reaction. You're dead, dude. You're dead. Searing Shot kills you. Okay. That works for me. Like somebody at a Calling or like a Battle-Hardened Cincinnati probably wouldn't make that mistake there, but they should have taken a second to read the card. So honestly, I'll take the win. Like, I don't think that would have been... I don't think that would have been how that game would have went, like, at a big event. But I'll take it. All right. 2-1. GG's. Thank you, Taberna. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see. Azalea. Playing on Talishar. We just played against Dorinthia. We went second against Dorinthia. We got the win. Searing Shot closed the game out. Red in the ledger for 14 put us back in the game on turn, I don't know, 6 to 7. I'm not exactly sure what turn that was, but we're going to put turn 6 to 7 because it was somewhere in that ballpark of turn 6 to 7 where like we had that big red in the ledger that let us like jump back into the game there. Because I feel like we were in kind of a grim spot, if I'm being honest, for a while. We weren't in too great of a spot, and then being able to get back into the game with that play felt pretty good. And I must have copied something else. I am taking Azalea to RTN. We haven't played CC yet in my community. I'm watching your videos are very helpful. Well, thanks, Milkman. I appreciate that. One, I appreciate you being here and hanging out, and I appreciate the kind words. I hope you have a lot of fun playing Azalea. I think that's the most important part of playing any card game, is making sure that you're having fun. But on top of that, man, I hope you crush it, dude. I hope you're crushing kids, man. My buddy Zach on the team has been working on this Azalea list for, quite a bit during the off season here, trying to see what works and what doesn't work. And, I think it has in some way, like, it's taken some components of Brody Spurlock's list, and he's tried to tweak it and make it his own. But I feel like he's done a really good job putting it together. And like, I feel like even I'm able to fumble through playing Azalea with his list. All right. 2-1. We have a better start off tonight with tonight's record than we did on Tuesday night. So we're hoping to keep that rolling. Carly's home, or I'm about to be murdered. Watch out, chat. You never know. It's Carly. We're good. All right. Is this the same list one you've been using the past few days? So this list is slightly different, Milkman, than the one I played on Tuesday. Zach made a couple of updated changes, and he added his updated sideboard notes that he didn't have. He did not have them fixed completely on his Tuesday list, but he actually sent me an updated list that he's been working on. So if you, Milkman, if you're looking for the updated list, you can hit !deck, or you can find it in the description on the YouTube video. The deck should be in there. Should be able to find it there as well. There must not be anybody playing right now. Big Sag. Nobody wants to play against Azalea. Oh, here we go. We found us a game. You love to see it. I think against Viscerai, we want to go first. We want to deny them the ability to set up. Oh, he actually has Viscerai in here. I'm moderately baffled by that. Okay, he has not updated this because we only got 58 cards. So apparently he hasn't updated everything, but that's completely understandable. So I think we want infecting shots for sure. No! Opponent. Opponent, come back! We just want to play games! And nobody wants to play games with us. Eh. Play against Dory again? Yeah, sure. We'll play against Dory again, I guess. That's fine. I think this is a butt matchup. I don't know. Bad, sorry. Oh, no, you're good. Butt and bad can kind of mean the same thing depending on how you look at it. So that could have been a butt matchup. Oh, we'll just run the same plan we just did into Dory and see how it goes this time around. He's also on Dawnblade. Is this the same person we just played against? I don't feel like it is, but it could be. We could knock for a battering bolt. So play knock. Reload the codex, flip the knock, or flip the battering bolt, dominate battering bolt for 6. Where is my thing? It wasn't set up in this matchup. Sag. Is not the same person? Okay, it's good to know it's not the same person. I think let's go for the battering bolt, and then we'll go ahead and put the drill shot in next turn. We'll arsenal the drill shot here. We'll go ahead and activate Azalea, and we'll come in with the battering bolt for 6 dominate. This will get covered up pretty easily. I'm not super worried about like this actually hitting, but this is a card that my opponent more than likely has to block in some capacity, which means there's a heavy chance we're gonna get some equipment here. They could just have a D-react in their arsenal. It could just be why they passed last turn. Considering they're blocking 3, I don't think that's the case, but kinda like the way you numbed all the pain, 'cause now the day bleeds into nightfall. I mean, I kind of like this hand. This hand's pretty good. We could technically like block 3 here if we wanted to. I'm not really a big fan of blocking on the first Dawnblade hit. Cards like Blade Runner are a little bit of a problem. Playing around Glint the Quicksilver is why I don't like to block the first one. It's very nice to not have to give up a card here for them to do that. So, and then I kind of want to block 3 here Feels like why not at this point in time, but they could just have a buff here from hand. That would be pretty good for them. They saved the puncture in case, I guess, I decided to give up Tunic or something. I don't know. Like, that's fine with me. We end up taking 3 here, and then we get to have a pretty normal hand, I feel like. I mean, if we leave that on top and go Lace with Blood Rot for 6... Let's bottom this, I guess. That seems pretty good. I mean, they'd have to have a D-React to cover this up. I guess technically they wouldn't have to have a D-React here. I mean, so if we play the Lace with Blood Rot, we're forcing them to have something because this is 11 dominate. And I mean, like, red is fine. Like, red stops them from, like, taking a whole bunch of, like, game actions. They can technically play, like, 2 or 3 reactions in one turn if they have it set up that way, but I don't really think that's going to be the case. They could definitely have a couple of reactions here, but, like, I don't think people realize that, like, the Dory deck is built on playing actions almost every single turn. They play actions quite regularly, so trying to take them away from, like, playing an action, like a non-attack action before they attack me is pretty good. Like, I'm pretty content with that. Guys, thanks for hanging out tonight. Whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, Kick, wherever you're hanging out at, I appreciate you guys being here tonight. A lot of fun content creators that y'all could hang out with while they play games, so I appreciate you guys choosing to spend time with me. I have a lot of fun streaming and hanging out with you guys. Our opponent's trying to figure out if they can cover this up here, and I'm going to be honest, I just don't think they can. My pants are killing me. They just take 8 and take the Pox token here. I mean, again, I know it sounds kind of crazy, but, like, I actually really like this hand. I really just kind of want to take the 4 and leave them with their counter. I mean, this could also be, like, a really good hand to just, like, block 7, block yellow, infecting shot, read, and lace, but, like, then we could just set them up with a power turn. So I kind of don't want to block because it makes their pumps worse if we don't block. And then I'm able to push, like, an infecting shot here for quite a bit. Oh, yeah. You pay those resources to come in for... you pay those resources to come in for 2 extra points. That's a total win for me. Now, they're probably going to arsenal, like, a Singing Steel Blade or a power card here in some way, but... So, let's go read. I mean, Lace with Frailty is pretty good. I guess we could bottom this, though. I kind of like just coming in for 11 non-dominate here. Like, we're just, like, forcing them to make a decision. And ultimately, like, while you don't want to give your opponents decisions, I am a firm believer that being able to... that giving your opponents some decisions does give you a chance for them to make mistakes and for you to win the game. And, like, I've met a few people who firmly believe in that kind of strategy over the years, but I ultimately think giving your opponents a decision is not where you want to be at. Infecting for 14. So we could have went in for infecting for 14 there, Taberna. Honestly, if I was going to do anything there, it was probably going to be me keeping the pump to arsenal it here, because I don't want to give up my arsenal at this point. I'm trying really hard to stay on my arsenal here. I mean, we can't... This hand doesn't really block that well, so we're just going to take this. Really hoping to find something like a Bolton shot on top, honestly. I mean, I think I'm okay just going to 14 and have them go to 16. And we're just going to try and pressure them as much as we can here with the double Rain Razors. I think double Rain Razors is like really good for us here. I like that they have to, or I'm sorry, not 16. They go to 18. I can't count. But let's, whoa. So I actually really like this. So top the Infecting Shot, top the Battering Bolt, and then we're going to leave the Battering Bolt on top. We're going to play the Lace with Inertia, and then we're going to come in with the Battering Bolt for 9, and if they are able to cover this up, we're probably just going to play a Rain Razors anyway. It's kind of an ineffective Rain Razors here, but I guess I could have left the Infecting Shot on top, and then I could have pitched a Rain Razor, and I could have came in for 7 Dominate, snapped, activated Death Dealer, loaded in my Spire Sniping after playing the Rain Razors, and then I could have still had my... I would have been able to use my Tunic to come in for... It would have been 7 and 5. 7 Dominate with 5 extra attached to it, and then I would have been able to arsenal my Battering Bolt here. I think that was a better play. We just missed out on 1 point of damage. Now, granted, I mean, again, I think I'm just gonna give one of these here. It's very unfortunate, but I do think we're gonna give one here. We got rid of the Twinning Blade, so they have a Sharpened Steel and a Precision Press in their hand. And then we're just going to arsenal this and pass. This is feeling pretty good. Wow, good hand. Yeah. Sorry, if you guys were talking about the last hand, yeah, like that really worked out. I also think this hand is really good if you guys are talking about this hand. No plans for New Year's Eve. Come ring in the New Year's with aggro plays. Alcohol may or may not be involved. I love Carly plugging it. I have been plugging the stream. I've been plugging Sunday pretty actively throughout the evening. I mean, I'm kind of incentivized just to go to 6 here, and then my hand gets to be pretty good. My hand is Opt, Rabble, play Rain Razors, or I could dominate something if I wanted to. Then if I draw into something, I'm always able to Bullseye Bracers it. So we're looking for an arrow on top of our deck, actually. How... Oh, did they break Bolters this turn? I guess they did. Man, going to 1 does not feel right here. I think we've lost this game. I'm going to be honest. I think I have played pretty poorly to this point. I actually really like this hand. This hand's really good. I mean, 9 Dominate, and then I'm going to use the Bullseye Bracers to come in with 5. 5 on hit, they get a Pox token. So, I mean, this is going to be pretty good. The only real problem I'm running into here is that they haven't blocked with their Bullseye or their Braveforge Bracers yet. I think our Dory opponent last game might have made the mistake of giving us too much equipment too early, and it put them in a bad spot. At least, I don't know. Maybe I've just played worse this game. That's always possible. I tried to pin it on YouTube too, but I can't seem to figure it out. I don't know if YouTube will let you... I don't know if YouTube will let you pin messages like you can on Twitch. I know you can pin things on Twitch, but I don't know if you can pin things on I don't know if you can pin things on YouTube like you can on Twitch though, baby. I'm not sure. The Dory plays better, of course. Okay, gotcha. You don't need bracers if you reload off Bolton Shot. That's true, Justin. We could just reload right here. The reload effect would be pretty good. Let's see. Why not just use Death Dealer instead of bracers? So if I use Death Dealer, I have to pitch my Ravenous Rabble to use Death Dealer, and then I have to pitch the card that I draw into to also play that. So I think it's better just to reload here. The only problem is we're not going to have an arsenal. I needed to be able to keep my Tunic counter. So they can go to 3 right here and then go to 1. And then I'm pretty much just dead at that point. I think is going to be the case here. I think I've taken too much damage here. I imagine this is a combo of my opponent playing cleaner than my opponent did last game. Yeah, that's a tough scene. So we just block 9 here. Or I'm sorry, block 8. Actually, I can block 9 if I give up. So if I block red, Remorseless, and Seek and Destroy and Cross Wrap, I block 9 to play around. I can play around the Singing Stillblade. I can never play around Route, though. That's my problem. And then I get the Bracers in Endless Arrow. I think blocking 9 might be the play here. I'm not sure. I think we have to block quite a bit here, though, to hope that this pans out. Oh, yeah, we can never beat an Overpower here either. Yeah. Good game, opponent. 6 turns. That game went a lot faster than the last one. And I don't know. Like, it felt like we had more dominated attacks that game, but it felt like they did less that game. I don't know. That was interesting. We lost that game. Felt like I had more dominated attacks, but felt less relevant. Opponent played better that game. Rewatch later to find mistakes. That was one of those games where I don't really know where it went wrong, so I'm just going to make a note for myself to go back and watch the games later so that I can make sure I'm trying to find the where I went wrong that game. Try to find my mistakes, and hopefully we can improve on them moving forward. I think it's the better play. You must to risk. Yeah, so I think we had to risk it there as well. I don't think we could ever really block a ton there. We do not have Vincent in here, so let's see what he has set up for Viserai. I mean, turning off the hero ability could be pretty good here. They also play a lot of non-attack actions, I feel like, so Battering Bolt could be okay. They are very, like, D-react heavy. We could just bring in our 6 attacks and just play it like this. I kind of don't hate this, if I'm being honest. I don't know. I don't know what's correct there. I wish we would have won the roll. I would have liked to have been able to go first there. Making my opponent go second as the Vincent player is really good for us. Vincent always wants to go first if they can. So the more you're able to make them go second, the better, because you're taking away their setup turn. So we only have one arrow, so we really only have one play here. I mean, I guess let's go for this play here. We're not going to pay. We're going to go pre-med, and then we're going to go 8, Lace, and we're going to come in with 8 Dominate here. Our opponent could definitely have some D-reacts here. It's super early in the game, so, like, there's no guarantee that we're just going to, like, cram this one through or anything. Like, our opponent could definitely block this out. It's, like, it's our first turn that we're taking where we're actively attacking, so they could definitely block this one out with some equipment here. Maybe they have a D-react in Arsenal. Sink below, okay. I mean, we still have a card to Arsenal, so it's not like this is the end of the world. But if that did hit, we were also going to get to throw the Spire Sniping at them to try and push through some more damage. And we ate at some equipment right there, which is like a very good start for us. The more equipment they give us early, the better off we are. Shadow Puppetry. Number of heroes who have lost life this turn. So I was like, they definitely used Vincett's ability. I mean, we could block here. I don't really think that blocking is correct at this point in the game. I think we can just take the 5 here and go to 32, and then we'll just try to have a more explosive turn. Like, we get to have, like, Rabble and an arrow here. So if we find an arrow on top, we're in a pretty good spot, I think. Yeah, I'll just take 2. Like, I think taking 2 is perfectly reasonable here. Let's opt. So we're going to go top with the Frailty, then top with the Remorseless. We're going to leave this on top. We're going to go Ravenous Rabble for 4. Okay, they gave us a reduced to Rune Chant, which is pretty good. And then we're going to... No, we're not going to pay. We're going to play the Seek and Destroy, and then we're going to come in for 8 Dominate, and I'm going to Arsenal my Lace with Inertia here. Vincett's not a deck that's really, like, looking to, like, play... Vincett's a deck that also gets wrecked by Warmonger's Diplomacy, so I'm okay arsenaling my Lace with Inertias here. If your hand is good, it doesn't matter, I think. Yeah, Zach, I think that's fair. I think that's a pretty fair way to look at this. I like having the Seek and Destroy effect here. Wow, this hand is crazy. This hand is actually crazy. Oh, they had the Seek and Destroy. So this is wild here. Like, this hand is like this hand is crazy. Like, my God, this hand is wild. Remorseless for 17. God, you've already counted it out. 5, 8, 11, 14, 17. Yeah, we're literally going to get to Remorseless for 17. And we get to opt and see what we want on top. I don't think we want another Codex in our arsenal, so I think we'll bottom that here. Let's go Lace, 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 Reed. I am definitely okay with that being on top of my deck. And then we're going to go Codex. We're going to get our Remorseless back. This is absolutely crazy. You love to see it. You absolutely do love to see it here. 100%, Zach. For later with the Ponder. So that's why I put it on the bottom. I don't think we want a Codex in our arsenal here, Taberna. I think we want to put that on the bottom because the Bolton Shot is a better card for us to arsenal. off the Ponder token right here. I personally think we were looking for an attack. Plus, a Bolton Shot is a great attack because it gives you a double arrow turn almost every time. With Tunic ready, this is why you play Azalea? Dude. Right, tell me about it, dude. This is where dreams are made right here. They get a Deathly Well. 17, my friend. 17. Good lord. Flail is for -2. Lol. Oh, that's so funny. And then we get to Arsenal this. God, that's amazing. Flail for -2. Flail do nothing. You absolutely love to see it. And they have to take damage to do this too. I mean, this hand is really good. Like, we can actually just lose our Arsenal card, and this is still a really good hand here. -3, they lose a life to Frail. That is true. They literally just lose a life to Frail. Like, to Flail. That's all they do right there. So, we have a decision to make. At this point in time, we can block E-Strike and Knock here, lose our Bolton Shot, because we're going to lose our Bolton Shot regardless. Because, I mean, Yellow Mauvrion is 2 extra rune chance here. So, I can... And then, I mean, this would be for what? This is for 4, so this is going to be for 1 if they come in with it. That's so crazy. So I can take 6 and go to 18 here, and then my hand is lose this, so I pitch Knock to load Death Dealer with Bolton Shot, play Lace, and then I get to come in for 6, and then I get to go E-Strike, draw a card. So I get to have an 11-point turn, where I also get to draw a card. And Arsenal, which is really good. I think that's worth going to 18 here. And if they throw the Flail, if they throw the blue Deathly Well from their Arsenal right here, we're going to block with Tunic every time. And I don't really care about the 2 rune chance. Like, I do have to be aware of my life total and make sure I don't just die to like Arcane Barrier out of nowhere, but yeah, you can or I guess, are we stopping anything by blocking this here? We're not stopping anything. There's absolutely no reason to block this. Never mind. Never mind. Flail to die faster. Use your weapon to die faster. Oh, that's hilarious, dude. That's hilarious. Zach, some random guy at the liquor store, says, go Tears. Do you know what that means? Like, go Volunteers? I assume it's what he means, go Volunteers? Like the Tennessee, like the college? University? If he doesn't mean that, Kyle, I have absolutely no idea, bro. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm guessing. I don't really even know if that's accurate. I'm just kind of guessing there. I guess no one's coming. God, I love Robin Hood Men in Tights. Such a funny movie. Who the fuck says Tears instead of Vols? Is that a thing that happened since I left? No, Kyle, I've never heard anybody say that, brother. First time you, first time me. Let's just put it that way. First time I've ever heard that. Oh man. Yeah, first time I've ever heard that either, man. Am I going draw card and snapping here to hope to find an arrow? I think I go draw card here first. Which is like kind of wild. So if I draw into an arrow right there, I can throw my Bolton Shot for 6, and then if it hits, I can reload. And if it doesn't, I get to actually just bullseye bracers in my card, which is actually really good. Allie said someone at the ABC said that to her, and I never heard of it, so I don't know what dick that dude is smoking. Yeah, dude, bro, I got nothing for you right there. That's very weird. I've never heard anybody say that ever a day in my life. So go for it. Now you can opt. Yeah. So now we can play the read, and if we hit a better arrow, which we didn't, I'm gonna bottom this, I think. We're just gonna throw our Bolton shot for 9 here. But had we hit a really good arrow there, like had we hit like a red or a I don't know, like a red infecting shot there or a red in the ledger, we could have Azalea'd it in and then kind of went crazy there. But the Ponder's kind of setting us up a little bit here for next turn. Making sure it wasn't just me. Nah, brother. You ain't alone on that one. That's that dude's living on his own world over there, calling him the Tears. I have to ask somebody if that's a common thing tomorrow, because I've never heard it. Thanks for lurking, man. I appreciate it. And yes, I am wearing pants, Kyle. I love that this has become your thing. If you don't believe me, I'll stand up and show you here in just a second after I get through my turn if I need to. Would we have blind Azalea into a good arrow? A dominated infecting shot for 10 would have been crazy. So opt, rabble, pre-med, read, Azalea. And I can block with my Bolton shot here. I think this is a perfectly reasonable hand here. I know we grew up in a rural Tennessee, so closer to UT maybe, but I told Allie, no way, that's a thing. Yeah, dude, dude. I was like, you know, man, I lived here my whole life and I've never heard anybody say that, so that's a first. Let's put that on the bottom and let's read. I want to find a red on top. We're gonna go pre-med. Rabble, because we know that we have the drill shot on top, and then I'm gonna dominate the drill shot here. This has felt like a much better game for us so far to this point. No need to risk. Oh, what are we risking? What are we risking? Oh, I missed it. What are we risking here? Now this is for 10 dominate. On hit, we get a ponder token. We played the premeditate before we played the ravenous rabble, because Zach was telling me on Tuesday that you actually get an opportunity here to have another card that will give you the ponder token if it hits. And considering we're throwing a breakpoint card, I like those odds there. Last turn with the blind Azalea. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So there was no need to risk it there. I completely agree. But it would have, man, had we hit that searing shot in the dark right there, it'd been pretty good. That'd have been pretty good. That'd have been cool. I only have one rune chant and they have no blood dead over there, so give a counter to the tunic here. They go to 2, I get a ponder. Happy to arsenal that. Sucks we don't have any buffs, but we can hang on for a buff. Block red and Bolton shot here. Actually, I'm looking to block red and infecting shot here, I think. Red in the ledger, red infecting shot are my 2 blocking cards here. You got to risk it for the biscuit. I agree. Sometimes you got to go for the, the baller plays, but I don't know that was one of them, brother. I don't know that was one of them, brother. Yeah, the play of the day for sure. Dude, to burn it would have been sweet. I'd have been living on cloud 9 if we'd have hit that. I seriously think if we block with red and infecting shot here, we have the ability to opt. Now, there's no way for them to have go again here. But, I mean, I guess I can go to 6 here, and I can just block with the infecting shot. I kind of like going to 6 here. They can't pummel this. Like, there's nothing that we're really afraid of here because Creepers is gone. I like having Tunic up as well. That's exactly what we wanted to see. So we're going to go ahead and hit that. From here, we're going to play Lace with Inertia. We're going to load in the Bolton Shot. Oh, wow. We can actually do some pretty cool stuff this turn. We can do some really cool stuff this turn. So depending on how they block, we have the ability to activate Bullseye Bracers to load in the Bolton Shot, and then we can come in for 5. And if it hits, we reload Red in the Ledger, and we come in for 5 more, which is actually insane. This is like really good here. Perfect turn. Yeah, Milkman, this hand is really shaped up here. Oh, they're playing around the Rain Razors. Num, 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 num. You love to see it. You love to see it. Them playing around the Rain Razors, I don't think is a bad idea here, but I do think... So, if this is a D-React... If this is a D-React, we're not winning the turn, whether it's Red or Bolton Shot here. Putting the Red in is a better option because it's for 6, and the Bolton Shot sets us up for a go-again arrow next turn. A go-again turn next turn. If this isn't a D-React, it doesn't matter what we're talking about here because the game's over either way. They had to have a D-React there to stop our turn, but I think using Bullseye Bracers for the Red in the Ledger is technically better there because if we Arsenal the Bolton Shot, we are setting ourselves up to find a pump and have a 2-arrow hand next turn, which I think is the better play there. Azalea Things. That's absolutely right, Taberna. Azalea Things is absolutely right. That game felt really good. Don't know what's happening there. There we go. All right, so we're 3-2 on the night. Let me pull up my testing. Azalea, Talishar, we played against Vin Set. We went second. We got the win. Pressured them enough to never give them a big blowout turn. Dominates and pumps lined up well. Through Remorseless for 17. Definitely going to definitely that's probably a clippable moment. Well, we might see that on a we might see that on a YouTube short sometime this week or next week. That was the Remorseless for 17 was pretty cool. Look at your deck. What was next? So, Taberna, I've heard people say that you can do that, but I've never figured out how to do that playing on Talishar. I don't know how people look at the next card on their deck. And I'm a Talishar Patreon because I really like Talishar and I want to support them in every way that I can. So I go out of my way to support them when I can, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So we want to go first against Vincent. I know it worked out for us to go second last time, but we definitely want to go second, or we want to go first. I mean, so Viscerai, and then we're going to bring in Sleep Darts, and we're going to bring in Infecting Shots just like we did last game and see how it goes. Top corner, and you can check your deck when the game is finished. Okay, I'll have to check that out because I'm curious to know how that works. I think we're just gonna Arsenal our Bolton Shot here. Like we're just gonna pass and Arsenal our Bolton Shot. Oh man, they're on the Sutcliffe Suede Hides here. I mean, this is a super spicy hand. The classic 4 pumps and a Bolton Shot. You have the eye on the top right-hand corner, I think. I think that's like just to get rid of the screen, but we'll look after this. I'm curious to see where that, to see if that's like where that's at, because I really want to know where that's at. So we'll look after this. At the end of the game, we'll look, because I want to know, Taberna. They gain life equal to the number of heroes that lost life. I mean, this hand is just so good. Like, there's just no world where we're doing anything but just saying, okay, here, we're just going to go to 30. Like, this hand's really good. We're going to opt and see if we can find some stuff on top here. If we can find, like, a 1-cost arrow, we might dominate a 1-cost arrow for, like, 14 or something cool here. Thought I clicked pass, but I wanted to make sure there. So let's opt. A red Bolton shot? I mean, yeah, we'll leave that on top. That's really good. So activate Azalea. No, we don't care about the aim counter. Pre-med. Lace with frailty. Lace with inertia. Pre-med. 4, 7, 10, 13, 16 dominate. You love to see it. You love to see it, boys. You love to see it. 16 dominate. After a 17-point remorseless turn last turn. Absolutely crazy. My opponent just said nice in the chat. I'm not sure if they're being sarcastic or not. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like we're missing the best part of Bolton Shot here by not being able to reload anything. But, like, still, this is a cool hand, and I'm pretty excited about being able to play it. Sorry I'm late, fellas. How's the play been tonight? Better hand on the sequencing for Azalea. Dude, you have nothing to apologize for, Trent. I appreciate you being here and hanging out, man. Appreciate you swinging by when you had a chance. I mean, yeah, like, the deck feels better tonight. I definitely feel more comfortable with the deck, but I can definitely still tell that there's mistakes and, like, play lines that, like, I'm still learning. And everybody in chat's been, like, super nice enough to, like, help me out and, like, point me in the right direction with stuff like that. So I'm very thankful to have such a nice community in chat that, like, helps me out with that kind of stuff. But yeah, the deck has felt a lot better tonight. Do you know how bad I would cry if he covered this up? Like, if he found a way to, like, cover this up somehow, it would be so sad. Like, I don't even know what I would do if this got covered up. Like, might just go upstairs and cry, honestly. It would be terrible. And that's why I play Azalea. Lol. Taberna, it's a really good turn. It's a very good turn right there. Bro just hit him like a gosh dang truck. I have to say, the Remorseless for 17 last game and the dominated Bolton Shot for 16 this game is definitely, it feels like this is why people play Azalea. Like, hands like this are, like, why you want to play the Azalea deck. Because you get to do dumb stuff like this and, like, just, like, push through absurd amount of damage like this. I think it might be time for another cough drop. I haven't had one in a while. It's getting kind of used to being someone you loved. I haven't really talked about this yet this stream, but I woke up this morning and, like, my throat was really scratchy. Like, I haven't really, like, felt too bad today or anything, but I'm trying to, like, stay on top of, like, my throat being scratchy and stuff with, like, some cough drops and stuff just to make sure. Guess we're looking for the lace here. I mean, opt, 5 go again, load the play lace, load the infecting shot, and then, and after we load the infecting shot, we can come in for 8. So it's a 13-point turn cycle with on hit on the second attack for 8, 2 ponders. Or I'm sorry, 2 pox tokens. If we had 2 blues randomly, we could just, like, block the rune chance, but I don't really think that's where we want to be. Honestly, I think we're just taking the 7 here and going to 20. Because our hand is... like, it's basically a 4-card 13 with an arsenal here. I mean, I guess technically 5, but... is there a way for me to do it all here? I mean, I guess technically if I hit an arrow on top. If we had an arrow here, we'd be able to go Rabble into E-Strike Go Again, into play the arrow off of the Tunic, or for free into Arsenal a card. But having the pump here, like, kind of puts me in, like, a spot where we're forced to play something like this. At least I think anyway. That's definitely how it feels right now. I could be wrong. Let's opt and see what we hit here. Infecting Shot. So, I mean, we can probably put the Infecting Shot on the bottom here. I mean, I guess we can leave it on top. So, if we leave it on top, our turn is 5 Go Again, putting the Rabble on the bottom, play Laced with Blood Rot, pitch Deadeye to Death Dealer, throw the Infecting Shot for 8, and then Arsenal or Yellow Infecting Shot. Like, that doesn't seem like a bad play. And we're gonna leave a Rabble in our deck for second cycle if the game goes into some kind of like weird long fatigue game here. Oh, I don't know. So this has AB1, and you can banish this with Blood Debt to create an Eloquence token. My opponent said they were thinking here, so we're just kind of hanging out, waiting to see what they decide they want to do here. Because now the day bleeds into nightfall. Laced with Blood Rot. Death Dealer to load in an Infecting Shot. I mean, it's not bad. This is not a bad turn at all here. And then we come in with the Infecting Shot for 8 on hit 2 Pox tokens. So, I mean, this is really 8 on hit, potentially 12. And then we'll Arsenal the Infecting Shot. So they banish a Funeral Moon. Like, and I don't really know what their play is from here. Like, unless they're just gonna, like, come in with a flail. Like, so we have a couple of options here. We can go 5 Go Again. So they create 2 Rune Chants here. And this is 4. So I'm going to go to 15. And what does this say? So, and they're going to go to 17. And then I get to have, so we have a couple of options here, and I need to decide what I want to do. So I could go E-Strike, put Knock on the bottom for Go Again. I could opt and see what we hit. And then we could go Seek, Read, and then play this, or we could Azalea and an arrow. And that would be an arrow for at least 10, if not more. So it's a 15-point hand with an on-hit effect of Pox token and Seek and Destroy. Or my hand is use Tunic to play Infecting Shot, Snapdragon Scalers after we opt, and then, so we'd opt, and then depending on what if we're going to play the Knock or not, we could pitch the Knock, and we could come in. I think we're just taking 4 here, honestly. This is tough. Is there a Loch Ness Monster style card in Fab? I don't think there is, really. If there is, I don't know what it would be considered. There's not really like a sea creature or hero or anything like that in Flesh and Blood, so I don't think there's anything like that. But that would be cool if there was, Ben. That would be pretty sweet. Okay. And then they're going to go to 17. So I'm basically at 12. I don't have to be at 12. I technically could pitch a blue to block those 3 rune chants if I wanted, situationally, depending on their ability here, but Remorseless on top. I mean, that's pretty good. I'm not going to pay 1, and I'm actually just going to go 5. We're just going to go again here instead of draw. Again, I'm in a spot where I could use snaps to try and do that, but I don't think so. Suspicious. It is oddly suspicious, Ben. Riptide? Is Riptide a sea style creature? Is there a Loch Ness Monster style card? Am I just lying to Ben here? I think you mean there is? Okay. Listen, I'm happy to be wrong here. Oh, there isn't one yet. I mean, that's a really good way to look at that. That would be really cool to like have like a Loch Ness style, like a Loch Ness Monster style card in Flesh and Blood. I think that would be very fun. And it's probably one of the only ways I could ever convince Ben to play, so I mean, let's save that for second cycle in case we need it. And then we're coming in for 11. I mean, this is pretty good. Like, this is a 16-point turn with a relevant on-hit effect here. Next set is all cryptids. James White told me. James White actually told you that. I don't know what a cryptid is, but I'm more caught up on the fact that like you got to talk to James White because that's really cool, Trent. Remember, I'm a big fan of Kano. I will never forget that. I do remember that. Ben's an avid Kano supporter, for anybody wondering. You guys are wondering what to get Ben for a late Christmas present. Getting kinda used to being someone you loved, 'cause now the day bleeds. Yeah, take 8. You love to see it. You love to see it. And they have a Seek and Destroy effect here. Kind of wish we had another go again arrow. We actually have a really cool play here, though. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Haha, I'm in danger. Like Arcane Rising? I mean, if you're looking to get Ben a late Christmas present, I think Ben would enjoy some Arcane Rising. I'm sorry, I can't keep doing this. Ben doesn't play Flesh and Blood. He's my cousin. He's very supportive, and he always hangs out in the chat and comments on my videos. He's super supportive, but he doesn't play Flesh and Blood. So, God, it would be so funny if somebody got you something like that. God, I would laugh so hard. Next set is the only ninja set, Dark Lights. Now we're talking. An only ninja set? That's something I could get on board with. I am locked into playing Fi in Cincinnati, so I mean, unless something crazy happens, I'm going to be playing Fi in Cincinnati. Block Searing Shot here. Take 2, go to 7. use Tunic to give this go again and then throw a 0-coster at me? Or just let the Seek and Destroy do its work? Either way. Cryptids are Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, Mothman, stuff like that. And no, I didn't talk to him. I was lying. Well, at least you were honest enough to tell me that you were lying. So look at it that way, Trent. You redeemed yourself. Brought back. You love to see it. Although that would be cool if it would be like mythical creatures. That would actually be really cool. I would totally be down for something like that. So this is like peak hand for us here. This is so good. This hand probably wins the game. Maybe not like literally, but I think this hand gets dang close here to winning the game. Like, we're coming in for 8, and then we're going to play Codex to go back and probably get a Remorseless. No, we'll get an Infecting Shot. Infecting Shot's probably better here. We're going to snap this and then play Codex. Like, this is a really good hand for us. Blind Azalea? I mean, we could have Blind Azalea right there. Taberna, why would we Blind Azalea, though? I mean, if we hit a pump, we could play the pump and then, like, play one attack, which would be 11. Or this is 8 plus 5 is 13. So I think our turn is... The turn that I took is 2 more points plus an arsenal. But I'm curious, was there a reason you think we should Blind Azalea right there? I think that would be one of the hardest parts of playing Azalea for me, would be learning when do I need to Blind Azalea and when do I need to not do that. Ooh, they're playing Mordred Tide. Is that something Vincettes play? Oh, yeah, take a Pox token. You love to see it. Oh, no. Crap. Man, I was sitting there talking. Shoo! Oh, you wanted to Blind Azalea there because it's safe? That would be cool. So I guess that makes sense. Because it's safe, if you hit an arrow, it's dominated. And if you hit a pump, we can play it and then Codex. I got you. I'm following now. That makes sense. So we're going to snap this time around because I'm not too busy running my trap now. And then this is going to kill him. Because we're going to go in and get an Infecting Shot here. We're actually going to opt before we do anything. Like, just in case. I can't imagine that there's something that's going to happen here, but just in case. We're going to opt so that we can see what we're going to ponder into here. Monster Hunter set with a new class that plays beast allies like wolves and stuff. Oh, dude, Trent, that would be dope, actually. That would be really cool. Widespread Ruin? Okay. I'd be all in for a set like that. That would be really cool. Yeah, we'll leave the Sleet Dart on top, and then we'll come in for 5. I mean, I guess technically I could have, like, dominated here, but, like, I don't think that's correct. I think I want the 5 plus the 2 that it's going to deal to them, because that's going to win me the game. I mean, I guess their Blood Debt's going to kill them too, but kind of 6 in one, a half dozen in the other, honestly. My opponent said GG right there before they conceded. Mordred is kind of odd, to be honest. Yeah, no, I don't really know why they have Mordred in their deck. I was kind of hoping that somebody was going to be like, oh yeah, like they're playing it because of this or something like that. Like, but didn't really seem like anybody had that opinion. I didn't really know what was going on right there. So anyway, we had an AVPT of 16.55 over 5 turns. It's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. What's that move us up to? 4-2? Let's go. Definitely a better record than we had on Tuesday. So I'm either playing against worse opponents, which is possible, but again, like, people are always playing to learn and stuff on Talishar. So, but I feel like I'm also playing better tonight. Win 5-turn game where we used our dominate, ability to push us ahead. Trying to think of like what the real big like swinging point of that game was for us, like if there was like a big swinging point, or if that was really just kind of like a continuous game. Multiple go again attacks in those turns. So I do think that's a good note to make, is that we had a lot of go again stuff throughout the course of that game. Like we had a lot, like we played, I think we played both of our E-strikes that game, and named them as go again. So I think that's also a good thing to note there. GG, thanks to Burn, I appreciate it. Yeah, no, Mordred is bad in Vincent. Yeah, I kind of thought that too. I was kind of curious to know like where, like, kind of thought that too. So I'm gonna take like a 2-minute break here. I gotta use the bathroom, and I'm gonna grab some more water. And when I come back, we'll play some more games. Thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. Okay, short break and we're back. then you just had brute cards called Doggy, where you roll a dice and kill an opposing canine ally. Dude, Trent, that would be hilarious. kind of fun to have like a cat and dog like ally set. Like that would be really cool. That would be really fun, I think. Man, another Vincent. Wow. Okay. That's a lot of Vincents tonight, but either way, we're gonna try it and see what happens here. We're gonna board the same way we did. Yep, we'll fire it up and see. Hi, man. How to fatigue a Dromai with Tekla Vossen? Ooh. Rick Beta Noob Fab. What an amazing name. First off, I just want to take a moment to say what an amazing name. Second off, thanks for stopping by and hanging out tonight on the old Twitch channel. Appreciate you being here. But now, fatiguing a Dromai is one almost impossible. Like, it is very hard to fatigue Dromai. If you are looking to do that, I'm just going to pass an Arsenal here. If you are looking to fatigue a Dromai with Tekla, you are going to have to find a way to set up Evos quickly so that you can kill dragons. And you're also probably going to have to run like 20 to 30 poppers. Like, and I don't even know that if you do that way, it's possible, brother. Like, that's a really hard thing to do. Oldham could, like, almost never fatigue Dromai. And Oldham had, like, literally 36 to 40 poppers and Remembrance in the deck. And I think now that you have the Chrome Eye Dust, I don't even think it's really doable, man. Like, I'm going to be honest, I don't know that you can do it. And I'm sorry, it's probably not the answer you were looking for, but to answer the Tekla Dromai question, you don't. You're almost 95% going to lose that matchup as Tekla Vossen. I mean, Noel, that's a pretty confident answer from Noel, so I would take his word for it. Sad. Yeah, sorry, man. I wish I had a better answer for you, but I do not, unfortunately. I mean, we'll leave that on top. I think that's an okay. Actually, you know what? Let's look at something. I haven't ran into this card all night. Did Zach cut this from his list? Okay, Zach cut the Eye of Ophidia. I was wondering about that. I couldn't remember if the Eye of Ophidia was in his list or not, but I think I thought he cut it, and I wanted to make sure. Yeah, I mean, let's leave this on top. I think this is fine. I think, again, we're okay to leave this on top. And then we'll just come in with Bolton Shot for 10. And then regardless of what happens here, we can throw the Sleep Dart after this. Maybe I'm supposed to just play the Premeditate here and come in for 7. And then from there, we can actually play the Reed. We could use Death Dealer to draw a card, play Reed to opt, and then throw Sleep Dart for 8, which I think is actually just a better play. So I think we're seeing a small mistake for me there, right there. Was trying out the new KO on open format Talishar today, and it was pretty wild. Had a turn where I was able to throw a 4 attack wide chain for like 20 damage, not on a Blood Rush turn. Dude, Trent, that sounds awesome. I think that's what I think that's what Brute players have been looking for everywhere, to be honest, man. That sounds really cool. I could just play this and come in for 8. The odds of him being able to stop 8 are not likely. 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, so if I play the Premeditate here, I could just get double Ponder tokens. Maybe I'm supposed to save it, though? I don't know. That's an interesting dilemma there. Do most of the new cards seem to work for KO? I'm out here struggling to use Sonata Galaxion Talishar. Shit's broken. Oh, dude, if you're talking about using cards on Talishar, like, that question was probably for Trent since he was talking about playing the deck, but I'm going to be honest, man. I like, Talishar has a lot of issues with new cards when sets first come out. And again, like, I don't think the developers of Talishar can only do so much, in my opinion. Like, this is a game that's made for free, that's run off of, like, player support. So, like, only so much can be done, in my opinion. But, like, Talishar has a lot of issues with cards when they first come out. Oh, forgot to comment. It's a Blitz format. I don't know. I don't think it being Blitz helps you there, Rick, if I'm being honest. Like, it might help you a little bit because there's 20 less cards and you have less of each dragons, but like, I don't know. I really don't know that it's possible, man. I mean, like, if you have an idea or something you want to test, then man, like, I would tell you to go for it, Rick, because I think that like that is like the only way you find like the only way people find cool things and new ideas is by trying them for the first time. So like, if you're going for an idea, then you know, like, then I would tell you to go for it. But again, like, it's tough. Like, it's. I kind of just want to block that, honestly. Let's put this on the bottom, and then let's blind Azalea here. Let's play Lace. Let's load the Bolton Shot. Let's come in for 7 here. Let's attack for 7, and then we'll throw the Rabble after this, and then I'm gonna look to Arsenal the Inertia here. I think that's a better arsenal in this matchup specifically. Were this a deck that I was worried about them playing Warmongers into us, I would definitely just play the Inertia there and then just Arsenal the Rabble here, but I don't know that I'm super worried about it. Galaxy is able to be used, but only pitches and blocks at the moment. No code has been played for the ability, so I can't even use it to search. Oh, that sucks. A lot of stuff did not work properly. A lot of the new attack action cards with instant discard to make X tokens didn't work, and the hero ability didn't work properly either. Yeah, so I mean, like it sounds like we're just kind of in that waiting period where we're kind of waiting on Talishar to put some of the newer cards out, or like, you know, put all of the lines of text into the cards, I guess is more accurate for what I'm trying to say. We're just waiting for all the lines of text to be entered and all the code to be adjusted so that we can be a red. Sag. Thought I'd put that on the bottom. Did I leave that on top? Interesting. Well, knowing that we have a Lace next turn means that we might, or knowing that we have a Codex next turn means we might be able to spot to use our Snapdragon Scalers and try to like pop off a little bit here. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, it being a free client, you know, like just kind of waiting until we I normally like to wait before I start playing new cards until the set has like officially come out and like we're like, or I guess like not technically officially released, but like when we're like closer to the set's release date, so that one, all the cards are out so I can have a better idea of what I'm looking at deck wise, and two, so that I can have a I mean, Sleep Dart looks pretty good here. I'm actually just gonna take 4. Yeah, I like to wait until closer to the date just so I can see what all the cards are, and so that normally more of the interactions are put into Talishar that way. He said, "I'm just impatient." I felt that, Noel. I felt that, man. It's easy to be impatient and like want things to be done a certain way. I get that, and I think that honestly, I think at the end of the day, I think everybody who plays Talishar understands that feeling that you're going through, because we all you know want cards like and you know to be ready to go. So let's bottom that. Read. We opt into a Bolton Shot. I mean, I guess that's fine. So we'll leave that on top. We'll use the Tunic to load the Death Dealer, or to use Death Dealer. We're going to put Bolton Shot into our arsenal. when we draw our blue, we're going to play the Deadeye as just a 1 for 3 here. And then this is going to be for 12. Now, it probably alternatively would have been better to actually have held one of my pumps for the sleep dart here. And again, I just my lack of sequencing in these spots specifically is just hurting me in this moment, because I could have kept the Deadeye here to play the buff into the sleep dart to make it for 8 here, which is just, that would have just been a better play. We're spreading out damage, so we're making their D-reacts worse a little bit over the course of a few different like cards here. Need somebody to have, somebody to hold. Okay, sink below means they're currently taking 5. Kind of hoping there's another D-react here from their arsenal so that we can get them with the codex. I don't really know why they undid their sink below here. Maybe they wanted to sink a card and they didn't. That's all I can really come up with at that time. Guardian of the Shadow Realm. Okay. This is the one. Yeah, okay, interesting. That's the one they can buy back in spots. I've always found that card interesting. It always seems kind of bad, if I'm being honest. We're going to get a sleep dart. And we're going to come in for 5. And then we have our ponder token to kind of set us up for the next turn so that we can start looking ahead. Unmovable and that card. Okay, so they... I was like, if you're going to block with a card from hand, there's absolutely no reason for you to give me both pieces of equipment there. That's just silly. If you're going to give me the card from your hand, just take 2. It does nothing. Like, just take 2. There's no reason to do anything other than just take 2 here. Even if you have the D-react, you should just save it at this point. Like... Okay. Interesting. You ever think of a joke and are about to say it on a public platform and then think of the possible consequences for that action? Asking for a friend. Trent, buddy, I have had that come up in my life multiple times, man. I grew up in a family who had a very, like, dark sense of humor, and, like, we laughed about a lot of things that, you know, just honestly, in some fashion, like just probably, you know, like we made some inappropriate jokes like growing up, so I've had that thought many times while streaming. I have to bite my tongue sometimes because I don't, like, you know, like anytime I tell a joke, you know, like I truly never mean to like offend anybody or hurt anybody's feelings. Like, that's not the kind of person I am, but yes is the simple answer to that question, Trent. whatever friend you're asking for. What did we see on top? Laced with Blood Rot? That's pretty good. So this infecting shot is about to be like absolutely insane right here. This is for 8. Let's just go ahead and make it 11.
Go.
to see it. Yo, Tehuv. I like that name. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you being here on Twitch this evening. Tell me about yourself. What's your name? What got you into Flesh and Blood? And what are your favorite hot dog toppings? Those are the 3 questions we ask everybody who comes and hangs out here. So please, 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 please tell me about yourself. I'd love to know more about you. Take 11? Bro, there's no way you're taking 11 here. Okay, there's some 1D react. I mean, we could actually push through the Rain Razors here if we wanted to, but I don't think we want to use our Rain Razors here. This is on hit 3 Blood Rot Pox tokens. Didn't exactly dial it up this way, but sometimes things work out that way. I can tell, Mr. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how is the play? Listen, man. Listen. Listen. Oh, I love that joke so much. I love saying that. It's so funny. That's so funny. Yo, Second Cycle, what's up, dude? How are you, man? I'm glad you're able to make it by. I got to watch some of your stream last night. I was doing a little bit of lurking while I was playing some video games with my fiance last night, man. But I'm glad you got to come by. I appreciate you coming by and hanging out tonight. So this Rain Razors is really worth 6 extra points if this hits. If they don't have a 4th D-React here, this Rain Razors is really going to be worth 8 points. 2 from the Rain Razors, and then 2 from the Infecting Shot, 2 from this box, and 2 from this box. Man. The old classic 0 for 8 Rain Razors that nobody was aware of. Now, I understand that I'm interpreting that pretty loosely as 0 for 8 right there, but I still think that's a pretty fair way to look at that card, if I'm being honest. Like, I think that's okay. Need somebody to have, somebody to hold. I'm really curious to know what their turn's going to be. If it's blue, create a rune chant. Interesting. And this gets double go again, right? And... oh, it's banish, not reveal. It's banish. It is banish indeed. So they make a rune chant pass. Go to 12. Value. Value town. Population us. Absolutely crazy. You going to be at Cincinnati? Yes, sir. I will be there. I'm pretty excited to go to Cincinnati. I haven't really played at anything since ProQuest season, so I'm pretty pumped to go to Cincinnati, honestly. Are you going to Cincinnati? Second cycle? I think this is the better play. I think coming in for 10 and then arsenaling the Bolton Shot gives us the best opportunity to be able to use Snapdragons and Bullseye Bracers next turn to really be able to put our opponent on like the ultimate back foot here. I think that's the best play we could make here, as opposed to going like E-Strike for 5, putting the Bolton Shot on the bottom, and then going Sleep Dart for 8. I think throwing 10 instead of 13 to arsenal a red Bolton Shot here is a completely worth play. Plus, Sleep Dart can, like, turn off their hero ability if it hits so that they don't have anything over here. They'll probably give us 2 cards, though, if I had to guess. Pumped to get that Skyline chili. Let's go. Dude, Trent, I'm actually super excited to go eat at the chili, man. I've like, we've talked about it, like, the guys that are going, like, we've all talked about it. I'm like, listen, fellas, I'll be leaving y'all's butts at the hotel if I have to go eat this chili. I made a promise, and I will be at chili. So I'm super excited. Ooh, so this is banish a card from our hand. I think this is fine. We can just banish the Bolton Shot here, right? The yellow Bolton Shot, because this is one from our hand. I won't be, but my streaming partner will be. The Viscerai /5 from last night. Oh, okay, gotcha. That's cool. That's fun. I have to admit, I I was curious last night when I was watching your all stream. I was like, who's actually like the face behind the YouTube channel? Like who's talking to me? Like, you know, like who's commenting on the videos? So I I did have a little bit of a laugh trying to figure that out the other night, because I always wonder that when it's like 2-person, like, you know, like YouTube channel. I'm like, okay, I'm like, who's like the main face here? Like who am I talking to all the time? Hoping to make it to Minnesota. Make Minnesota work in June, though? Yeah, dude. I was looking at flights last night, or night before last. Carly and I were looking at flights to go to Minnesota. Carly's not going to come to Minnesota, because who on God's green earth would want to go to Minnesota if they didn't have to? But we're looking at going to Minnesota. I'm going to Minnesota, I think, regardless. I love, like, Nationals is like one of my favorite times of the year, so... Yeah, I'm pretty pumped for Minnesota. I despise that Nationals is in Minnesota, because, like, what the heck is in Minnesota beside cold? But I'm cool. I'm excited because I've never been to Minnesota, so be a state I can mark off of my map here. Skyline chili dogs were pretty good. Oh, Cal, you're coming in with the secret knowledge here. Let's go, dude. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm pumped for some Skyline chili next weekend. Like, not this coming weekend. Man, Cincinnati's already next weekend, isn't it? Jeez, that's crazy to think about. Where has the prep time gone? Good Lord. But I'm pumped for some chili, honestly. I'm actually really excited for it. Yeah, I never thought about that, LOL. Yeah, I manage our YouTube and Twitter account mostly. Oh, nice. That's cool, dude. Yeah, I always, like, it's always funny because it's like, you know, like when I interact with, you know, when you talk to, like, you know, like people who have like when there's 2 or 3 people that, like, are on a YouTube channel consistently, it's like, oh, who's the main person here? Like, who are we, you know, like, who are we? I mean, I think we're just gonna bottom this arrow, and we're just gonna come in for 8 here. But yeah, it's always like, who am I actually talking to? I'm always, like, curious to know those kinds of things when I end up like watching a channel. Take 3, go to 7, and then take 2, go to 5. You'd love to see it. Play knock, load the lace, put a 1-cost arrow on top, activate Azalea, pay for the counter, pay for Deadeye, and then come in for 8. Actually, it can be 9 because we can go get an infecting shot here. We'll just see what we can knock for. Remorseless would be good, but they don't have anything in their arsenal, so there's no point in us getting that. Is there not a red infecting shot left in the deck? Did I look over the last one? I thought I only saw 2 in my graveyard. I mean, yellow infecting shot is 5, 8 dominate here. Remorseless is 8 dominate with, I guess the 8 dominate here is more relevant. If they block 3, they take 5. Actually, I guess they just die here if they don't have it. Which means they have to have the card and the blue. I like this. This is a pretty good play here. The aim counter and the Deadeye looking really good, which means we can take a blue here if we need to, which is insane. This is actually really, like, a crazy good turn. This is a crazy good turn, actually. Oh, yeah. Block for 3 and die. Let's go. You love to see it. You love to see it. I did give you a shout out on our stream yesterday. Not sure if you were there when I did. Really been enjoying the content that you put out. Well, dude, thank you. That really means a lot, man. I appreciate the shout out, dude. That's super nice of you. You did not have to do that by any means, but dude, I really appreciate that, man. That means a lot. I So I didn't get to listen too often. I was like watching. So like when I'm not streaming, I'm like playing games on my one monitor that like I'm like you guys can see right now, and then I have Twitch or YouTube up on my other monitor that I'm like watching things on. And so like I was watching you guys and like, you know, like trying to like decipher the plays you were making and stuff like that. And but I didn't get to listen too much. But man, I really appreciate that, man. That means a lot. That's super nice of you, man. You didn't have to do that, so that really means a lot. I honestly, I was laughing. So my fiance's name's Carly, and I was laughing with her last night because I tell her that I'm always like really jealous when people can like, when you guys like get to like stream in paper games, because like as much as I love Talishar and as much as I love playing games and like being able to like sit and like really dissect my gameplay and like figure out the best lines that I can take every game, hopefully most of the time, not always, but like seeing people play in paper, I'm just always like, man, like I wish I had the setup to play in paper. Like I wish I could like play in paper and like set up and like record in-person games, because I feel like there is so much more, like it's so much more fun to play in person. Like you know, like don't get me wrong, like streaming and playing Talishar and like everybody who comes by and hangs out on my channel makes it so much fun, and I'm so thankful for every single person who hangs out here. But playing in-person games is so much fun. And I think that's like the next thing I'm really going to look into is like trying to get like a setup to be able to like play, like just play in-person games. So know that every time I'm watching you, I'm always like secretly a little jealous of the fact that you guys get to play in-person games. And I love that about your all stream, man. Is this just an awful matchup for Vincent? These games have felt super rough for them. I mean, dude, it's felt like I don't know, man. Like it could be. I'd be lying if I said I knew enough about Azalea Trent to like really tell you one way or the other. But it definitely feels like it's not favored for them. I'm 3-0 into them, and like I mean, you guys are seeing like some of like the you know the 15th and 20th games I've ever played on Azalea. Period. So like I would say it's not a good matchup for them. GG. Thanks to Burn. I appreciate it. Appreciate that very much. Let's go ahead and get our game logged here. Azalea, Talishar, played against Vincent again. We got to go first that game. We got the win. Feels like a good matchup for Azalea. Dominate when you can and take your dominate when you can and play bigger attacks when possible. This feels like I don't know, like Vincent feels like a matchup we don't have to like block too much in. Like I don't know, it could be me like kind of being crazy there, but like it feels like we don't have to block a ton in this matchup. So oh, dude, it's after 10 o'clock already? Well, I did not realize that. Let's get one more in. We played against Vincent a lot tonight, so I'm gonna be honest, if a Vincent joins, I might just leave, if I'm being honest, and like try to find another game, because like I wanna play, but at the same time, like I don't really want to play against another Vincent. We played 7 games tonight. Is that accurate? That feels. Reinar, Prism, Dorinthia is 4, and then 3 Vincents. Yeah, so yeah. We lost to Reinar in a super close game that I feel like I probably should have won had I played better. And then beat Prism. The guy was like on a weird Prism deck. Beat a Dorinthia, lost to a Dorinthia, and then beat Vincent 3 times in a row. So it's definitely been a night, for sure, to say the least. Oh god, what does he do into Kano? All right, I assume we didn't bring in Perch Grapplers, which makes sense, and he's just on the 62 card special here. Why releases? Why releases? He has 2 release attentions in here, and I'm curious what his rationale is here. Seems like you'd just rather not be on releases and just play 60 cards. I don't know. I don't know. This is the only time tonight that I've changed Zach's game plan. So if we lose, then we know that like I should have just stayed in my lane here. They hit an Ether Spindle off of the first Kano. That's pretty good for them. That's pretty good for them. Pretty good. I'll pitch a, oh, I guess I have AB2, don't I? So let's pitch like this, and then if they come in with something else, then we'll be able to AB2 one more time here. So they went top, top, top. Activate Kano. I assume they're gonna find like a Voltic Bolt. So they're not gonna Arsenal here. I mean, I guess if they're not gonna Arsenal something good enough, then it makes sense. They're playing fair Kano, which is interesting. Yeah, we worked really hard to make the in-person thing work for us. I think it adds a lot to the stream. The trade-off is what we don't really get. The trade-off is that we don't really get the chill hangout type streams like you do. That's fair. That's fair. Any chance you take this to Cincy, or are you locked into Fi? Sorry. So first, like your comment, like that makes sense. Like it is very nice, like be able to play Talishard and be able to stop and talk and hang out. Like I completely, like 100% agree with that. That's like a really cool thing to be able to do. But I'm probably not going to take Azalea. I'm going to be honest. I'm just not like the deck. I don't feel like I'm really there with the deck. Like over the course of a longer tournament, I don't really feel like I'm like at that point with Azalea yet. But so I'm pretty locked in on Fi, if I'm being honest. That's like I guess we should opt here, right? Yeah, we should opt. I like Yellow Bolt and Shot in our arsenal. That's fine. So I'm pretty locked on Fi. Fi is like my main hero that I play the most of. I really like playing Fi, and I really enjoy the play patterns and the way it plays, and and just all of that. So it'll probably, like, more than likely you'll see me playing Fi at Cincinnati. Or I guess you won't, but your buddy will if I happen to run into him. I'm gonna make sure I say hi to him if I run into him. So we're just gonna take the 2 here, or it's 3 because of Scolding, or because of Crucible, I guess. But yeah, do you know what your buddy's playing in do you know what your buddy's playing at Cincinnati? Not that I'm like trying to scope out the competition, and if you don't want to give away his deck, I'm not offended. I completely understand. I just ask because like I always like to chat and talk to people about what they're playing. Like I think it's fun. Ooh, Potion of Deja Vu. That's scary. I was getting kinda used to being someone you loved. So activate Azalea. Deadeye. Lace with Blood Rot. And then this is 10 Dominate into an Infecting Shot. If this hits, which it's going to because this is Kano. Like, I don't know what world this wouldn't hit. He's also leaning towards 5, but hasn't locked it in yet. I mean, that's fair. Like, there's nothing wrong with leaving your options open. I just, like... Yeah, like I think that Fi's in a really good spot for the current metagame. So I'm... Oh, he's not dead here. I should not have taken a blue. Taking the yellow Ether Spindle was the correct choice here. He blocks 3, goes to 3, gets another Pox token, pitches a blue, and goes to 1. So I made the correct decision right there. And now we just get to Dominate. No, dude, you're just dead if you... Like, what's your play here, buddy? Now you're just dead. Maybe he just wanted the game to be over. I guess he just wanted the game to be over. I don't know. That was weird. Anyway, that was like one of the fastest games I think I've ever played ever. But I get not locking yourself in, but I think Fi is in like a really good spot right now, and I'm actually really looking forward to playing Fi this week, like this next weekend. I've been working really hard on the Fi list that like I'm gonna be playing. So I'm really looking forward to like playing Fi this coming weekend. Like me and another guy on my team have been like we have really been like busting our butts to like try and get this list like set up as far as possible. Yo, Card Fight King, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you being here on Twitch tonight. Tell me about yourself. What's your name? What got you into Flesh and Blood? And what's your favorite hot dog topping? Round of applause for Drew for coming up with the hot dog topping question. I'm gonna have to get a soundboard so I can actually have something. GG's, let's go, Taberna. What a nail biter, dude. I know, right? They had us on the edge of their seat. Now listen, if that wasn't a fair Kano, I would have been on the edge of my seat because there were multiple times that I had 1 or 0 resources when I played super aggressively, but they were also playing the fair Kano, and I knew that it was okay for us to do that. Knew it was okay for us to do stuff like that. Yo, second cycle, dude. Thank you for the double support, man. Hanging out on YouTube and follow me on Twitch. I appreciate it. Let's see. What's going on this weekend? Big event or just Armory Fi? Oh, so Kafrika, it's not this weekend. Sorry, that's my fault. Not like a couple days from now. Next weekend, January 6th is the weekend of Cincinnati, Battle Hardened in Cincinnati, that I'm going to with a couple guys, a couple of my friends and a couple guys from my team. So not this weekend. I apologize. I was misspeaking there. In my head, it's already Friday, but it's not. Today's just Thursday. So like in my head, like, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, all right. So yeah, the Battle Hearts next weekend. Locked in for Fi. Unless something crazy happens, unless somebody comes up to me and they're like, "Oh my gosh, like, bro, like you have to play this list. It's broken. It's insane." Like it would have to be like if anybody in the chat has ever played Magic and you guys live during Hogak Summer, then like it would have to be Hogak Summer level of broken. That is the one time in 4 years up to that point that I had been playing Magic that I had ever swapped off of Burned and Modern was to play Hogak. And I immediately won an Underground Sea tournament. Deck was stupid. Anyway, sorry. I don't talk about Magic too often. Everybody's like, when I get out Magic talk. But, hey everyone, name is Clay. I got into Flesh and Blood because I was invited to learn with my brother and a friend was hooked from the first game onward. That was about a month ago. Coming from Digimon. Favorite hot dog topping is pickled onions. Oh, okay. Dude, okay. So somebody else said pickled onions. But Clay, welcome to the channel. Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. Pickled onions is like, I'm not a pickled onions guy. I have tried them before, but I'm not a big fan. I've just learned that like I'm not a big fan of pickled things. Like I like pickles, but I'm not a pickled person. Kind of like I don't know. Like it loses some of the zest for me at a certain point. But man, Clay, welcome to Flesh and Blood. I hope you enjoy it. I've been playing Flesh and Blood since February of 2022, and I have loved every moment of it since. I've never played the Digimon card game, although I have to admit I was a big Digimon kid. I watched the show as a kid. I love that show. But I originally come from playing Magic, so I'm not really new to TCGs. I'm just, kind of like Flesh and Blood. I've only been playing for, I guess, a couple of years. Yeah, in February. Wow, it's crazy to think about. But yeah, so welcome to the channel. Welcome to Flesh and Blood, man. I hope you fall in love with it as much as I have. It's a fantastic game and an even better community. I have no doubt that every single person that hangs out on my channel gets tired of hearing me say that. But Flesh and Blood has bar none, the best community of gaming people I've ever hung out with and played with. Like, Flesh and Blood's an amazing game. Wonderful people. I have a sweet KO list you can take. Brother, you can... Bro, 1, KO's not legal. Okay? 2, I would think about it if he was. No, not really. Not really. I wouldn't really. But I wouldn't really, but I would. I need that sour snap. Lol. Oh, yeah, I watch you on YouTube, LMAO. Well, dude, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate the double support. I appreciate you being here both on YouTube and on Twitch, man. It means a lot. Yeah, this is my first non-Japanese card game. I played Vanguard and Yu-Gi-Oh's for years, then Digimon. I love Fab. I can't wait to travel to events, and I'm almost done with my first CC deck. Just need to do a few more cards. Dude, that's awesome. What hero are you putting together in CC? So I never played Vanguard, but I played Yu-Gi-Oh for a while when I was in college. I played Magic. Like Magic was my first real TCG that I got into, and then I played Yu-Gi-Oh for quite a bit. My biggest problem with Yu-Gi-Oh, and like if you haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh, it's hard to explain, but like people understood what their cards did, and they knew how the interactions worked, but they could not explain it to you. And like, so people could be like, oh, this card does this and goes and gets this. But I would be like, why? And nobody could explain that to me. And I think that's really where I lost a lot of love for Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I felt like the people who played Yu-Gi-Oh! Just weren't very knowledgeable on their cards and why the interactions were happening. And I'm somebody who really likes to understand the rules and like the interactions and the cards and stuff like that. That could have just been my local community scene, like my local community of Yu-Gi-Oh! But either way. Vanguard used to be so much fun. I've heard a lot of people talk about how they like love Vanguard back in the day. I've heard a lot of people say that. I've heard a lot of people say that. A lot of people talk about that. All right, well, guys, I think that's going to be it for me for the night. I'm going to get out of here. Call it an evening. But guys, I appreciate you guys being here so much tonight. Everybody who come by and hung out, I appreciate it. All the follows, all the love means a lot. You guys are the best. Do not forget, we're doing a New Year's Eve Flesh and Blood stream on Sunday night, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and it's going to be the first time I've ever streamed there's been alcohol involved. So every member, every subscriber, every donation, every like all the bits that get cheered, like we've set up, Carly and I are going to make some mixed drinks, and I'm going to be taking shots. So, and I'm a lightweight, so it should be a lot of fun. I've told everybody I'm not drinking hard liquor because that will actually kill me. I'm such a lightweight, but I'm actually really looking forward to it. I'm a very fun drunk. It just like kind of like takes my personality out more. So in my opinion, I'm a very fun drunk person to be around. And I think Carly will tell you the same thing. I can be a little loud when I'm drunk, but I'm already pretty loud as it is anyway. So it's just kind of like pushing my personality even further out there. But I'm really looking forward to Sunday. It's going to be a really good time. I will not be live tomorrow. I will be back on Saturday, though. We're going to be playing some Flesh and Blood and probably some Fortnite or Call of Duty on Saturday, just hanging out, having a good time on Saturday. So, guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys this weekend.